join the server.
Cool.
And
sorry, not cool enough.
need to close Twitch. I just need to reduce the amount of things that I have running. Sorry about that.
No worries.
And there's why is there like ads on Twitch? I can't watch this.
It's just a an automatic thing.
Yeah, can you guys hear the ads I am hearing?
A little bit, but only when you're talking. Alright, sorry about that. Oh, no, it disconnected me again. Goodness gravy. Why is it being so angry? Oh, no, it disconnected me again. Nope, no, I don't need sound, sorry. Alright. Goodness. Can you guys hear me again?
Yep.
Alright, cool. Sorry, the thing is
live again?
Yeah, everything will be the same. Just give me a second, it's not quite up yet. Just having some tech issues. Hopefully I fixed everything. There we go. Yeah, sorry guys. Hopefully you can hear me again. I hopefully fixed that.
We did not pray to the machine spirit enough today.
Apparently not. Just not a happy boy. Let me change to black again, and you'll be on red, and you'll be blue. We'll go back to what we were talking about. I apologize.
No worries. I'm getting spam texted from my cousin because I'm trying to help him with the computer issues, so...
Oh, we're all in the same place. Oh, no, it did not actually change my team. Hold on. Good, there we go. Alright, back to what we were talking about. I apologize. And hopefully I have everything off on my computer, so that should stop happening. It might be because it's so hot today. So I hope that stops happening, but it is hotter in Virginia than it has been in a very long time. So if it's equal to toughness,
forward to victory.
4s, less than toughness, 5s and 6s, half the toughness, 6s. If you're greater than the toughness, 2s and 3s. And if you're double the toughness,
the might of the righteous.
2s. Now, you can never, ever wound on a 1. You could never... Pretty much a roll of a 1 is a fail of anything. So just keep that in mind. And then there are some things...
Not only because they reroll 1s.
Excuse me. There are some things that do give you free reroll 1s, like your army trait is reroll 1s to wound in combat.
Yes.
Somebody sent me a message. Thank you.
So... For example, my Hive Tyrant, why is his movement, why is like some of his stats are asterisk?
Oh, that's weird. Oh, I think it's because it's too far back. Sorry. Asterisks. That's a good question. That means you have a changing table. So if you're looking, are you looking at your Hive Tyrant?
Yes.
Mouse, can you hear the alerts, or can you or are they just not popping up at all?
Wait, let me see. What alerts?
Oh, Malice, don't say that to me. I didn't even know that. Sorry, I'm talking to the guy who's trying to help me run a stream.
Aaron sent me the wound cheat sheet.
So yes, your guys has asterisks on it, right? So let's look at your Hive Tyrant real quick. So press 1 on the Hive Tyrant, which is on this side, which is a great example. If you scroll down above your stats, do you see what I'm talking about?
No mercy, no respite.
Where you have like the unit stats like the Harlequin, but on top you see stat damage.
Yes.
Okay, so as you take wounds, your guy basically gets worse because you're a monster. So yours doesn't really have the character rule because you're over 12 wounds. The character rule only works for 9 wounds and under. So your guy can always be shot.
Forward to victory.
So you really want to think about your positioning of him because of that. As he takes damage, he gets worse too. So you'll notice that in 7 to 12 wounds, he's got his max movement, he's got a weapon skill of 2 and a ballistic skill of 2. As he takes damage, he does a little bit worse. It's kind of like he's taking bits of him are flying off and he's struggling to do as well as he can. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So when there's
no mercy, no respite.
That's actually a really great example here of this is like a monster in itself. where normal characters don't have that problem. Anything that's usually over 10 wounds is in that position. We can hear them, we can't see them. All right, let me refix that. Hold on.
The litany of deployment has been made, brother.
I'm coming, Melis. I'll fix it.
So, really random question.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see if I'm getting this right. M is movement. Oh, I got demoted. M is movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So M, that's how much you can move. It's in inches. WS, I
Yep.
completely forgot.
Weapons. Weapon skill.
Okay. Got it. Weapon skill. So I have +3 on my hive leader or my troop master because I get 1 from that. Oh, somebody's sending me messages. Thank you so much again.
Oh, I disconnected from the queue.
Aaron?
I'm just joining back.
All right, there.
Weapon skill? Okay.
Yeah.
This is easy. Ballistic
I'm
skill is
listening
pew
to
pew.
Yep.
Then strength and toughness, if it is all that fun wound roll stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wound is how much damage, so health points, toughness, etc.
Exactly.
Attack, did we cover that yet?
No. So attacks
The
is...
litany of deployment has been made, brother.
Hopefully that worked. Attacks, it looks like it's working. Attacks is how many times you get to... How many dice you roll for your melee combat. So let's say your troop master has a... oh, I should probably be showing that because I know those by heart.
Feel the might of the righteous.
Troop masters have 5 attacks, so you would roll 5 dice when they attack. And then we'll talk weapon profiles in a second. But every unit has a different weapon profile, and that usually is shown under you based on what weapons they're taking, so under those stats. And then morale is not something you need to worry about on characters, but that's what the LD is. That's your leadership. And that determines when your guys run away, and we'll get to that when we're starting the game.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Any questions about the data sheet, or does it make sense?
Yeah. No,
So we have
they just-
abilities. Okay, it makes sense. Cool. Sorry about that.
You're good. And sorry, Dino, it all makes sense? You're good?
Yeah, sure. I'm listening. It all makes sense.
Awesome. Okay. So, next thing what we would do is go over your armies. So I'm going to explain basically what your armies do.
Do the Harlequins first.
You will go over the Harlequins and then we'll do the Tyranids. So you do this before every game of 40k, no matter match play, no matter campaign. You always explain what your army does. So you go, hi, hey, my name's Badia, and then you start explaining what your list does. So over here we have Harlequins in this corner, this lovely corner. I'll even draw a little box around it. Here you go. Oh no, don't want that open. There you go. So we have in this Harlequins list what is called a patrol. So when you build an army, there's different types of detachments you can take. And for both of you guys, you're both taking a patrol, which is kind of one of the smallest you can take, which at 500 points is what you would do. So you have in this patrol 2 troops. One of these guys has what's called a caress, which is literally their hand, and basically what it allows them to like vibrate or something and like go through people's like entire molecular bodies and rip out their hearts and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Flash, right? like the Flash thing from the series.
Sorry?
It's like the Flash. From
Yeah. It's like the Flash. It's like the same thing. Yeah, exactly. So those are strength 5 weapons. They're AP 2 and they do 1 damage. So when they go through, they only do 1 damage. Harlequins as a rule. So the big thing about Harlequins, they're very fast. Every single Harlequin unit, besides their vehicles, which you don't see today, have the ability to do what's called advance, which is an extra movement, charge. So they can do an advance and charge. That's something that's not normal. Usually when you advance, you cannot also charge. So that is a specific rule for them. If they do advance, they can't shoot their pistols, unless in a special thing we're not taking today. They also have a special rule, which is what's basically called the fly keyword. So the fly keyword basically allows you to ignore models and terrain when you move. So normally models block you. You can't just walk through them. What Harlequins do is they can actually jump over them. So think of them as acrobats. They're basically flying clowns. Think of them as flying, murdering clowns.
I think of them as dinner.
Good. That would work too. that is pretty much what you're looking at for your list. So you have the troops who have the vibro hands. Then you have these guys with the little needles on their arms. These are called kisses. So notice the naming scheme is all very touchy-feely. Kisses, caresses, embraces. Kisses are very brutal weapons where they basically stab them in you, and then these microfilaments come out and rip your body apart.
Go.
Those are strength 4, so a little less strength, but those are AP 3, so when you save against them, it's harder to save against them, and they deal more damage. They deal what's called D3 damage. So you roll a dice, and based on D3 dice, so a dice with 3 sides, not 3 sides, with 3 options, you could do 1, 2, or 3 damage based on those weapons. So that's what they got. Here you have a Shadow Seer and a Troop Master. Troop Master is your guy who's kind of leading you. He's your Warlord. He's taking a Warlord trait that gives him a better save. So Harlequins also kind of special. They have what's called an invuln save. So you actually, while playing Harlequins today, don't really have to remember a lot about the game, which is nice. Because all your saves are always going to be the same, except for on your Troop Master. Your Troop Master, instead of having what is called a invulnerable save, which cannot be changed by AP, but you can also not benefit from cover. So it's always the same no matter what. He has a 3-up invulnerable save. So on a 3-up, you would save it. Your normal troops and everyone else has a 4-up invulnerable save. So they always save on 4s. Does that make sense?
Well, everyone has a 4+.
Everyone in the army.
Wow.
Shadow Seers are your magic boys. People in chat, I'm not gonna look at it, are probably gonna get angry at me that I called it magic, but it's basically magic. You're a psyker. It's your psychic abilities. That's your guy who is your psyker. So he has 2 potential casts. He's okay in combat. He has a special aura, though. This is pretty important for this game. His aura only affects... so an aura is an ability that affects things around it. Actually, I'm sorry, your Troop Master has one, too. Your Troop Master's aura allows everything to reroll wounds. So all your guys to reroll wounds. So if you fail the wound, you get to reroll it to see if you can do it. You can only ever do, for any dice in the game, 1 reroll. So you can't reroll a dice multiple times until it works for you. The Troop Master's aura is a -1 to wound bubble. So let's say he comes at you with something that would wound your players on 2s, but because the Shadow Seers are going to be there, they would then have to wound on 3s. So it's just a nice little defensive buff for your guys. That kind of makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. And then those auras are only 6 inches, so you really got to think about your positioning when playing these guys. Then you have 2 Skyweavers. So these guys are in a unit. So these guys are a part of each other. So they do need to stay near each other. They're a little bit punchier. They've got Strength 4, AP 2 damage weapons. But they're only 3 attacks each. So you think they're really punchy, but actually these guys are your punchiest. They do have a very cool thing that is not at all going to matter this game because you're not fighting any vehicles, but they're using something called Haywire guns, which are Haywire cannons. And they're just better events vehicles. They do what's called mortal wounds, which is like psychic damage almost. You can't save a mortal wound. It just happens, and there's only a few ways to save them. And those are your guys who are going to be really kind of flying around doing the business for you. You notice they'll move very fast. So your normal dudes on foot, they move 8 inches. Those guys move 16. So they are very, very fast. And they also have the fly keyword. And that's Harlequins. You got +1 to attack when you charge things.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now for the best bugs, the cutest army.
Yes, now we have the adorable buggos. So you, my friend, are taking Gorgon, which we talked about, but Gorgon is reroll wounds in combat. Your leader is a Hive Tyrant. He is your Warlord. He is also a Psyker. So he does have the ability to... Again, people are getting angry at me. I'm trying to avoid looking at chat. He has the ability to cast powers. I believe he has 2 casts. And you guys can have, like, magic battles, so everyone has a deny. So your Shadow Seer has 1 deny. This guy has 1 deny. And basically that means when Dino tries to cast his powers, you can make a chance to try and stop it.
By the way, for the person in chat that asked if Thousand Suns are a good place to start, Yes, Thousand Suns. Actually, I just don't kill them, but I mean, they're Egyptian Marines. It
They're
starts with
very
yeah.
cool. I love them. And they have a Primarch. So, that's always a plus. So you have one squad. So you're a Horde army. So Harlequins are very elite, which you'll notice is why you so few models in comparison. So they're a very elite army, which means you're paying a lot of points per model. You're more of a Horde army. You're paying less per model, but they do a little bit less as well. They're not as beefy or all-rounder per model. So you have a Horde of Termagants, which are kind of your shooty nids. They're decent.
They actually shoot bullets. They do not shoot bullets. They shoot worms that go into your skull.
Exactly. They're not real. Everything about what you're facing today, Catbug, is basically biological warfare.
Let's go, biowarfare.
Your Harmagants are your Horde, like, scratchy guys. Again, pretty good. Behind you have some Tyranid warriors, which are a little bit more beefy of your troop choices. So your troops are people who have OPSEC, which basically means they can control an objective if they're around it, and they take priority for that. Warriors, the stat line lies are a little bit better. They hit a little bit better in combat. Not so good on the shooty part. And then behind you have another set of Psychers, which are your Zoanthropes. So Zoanthropes are pretty scary. They have a special smite. Smite is a power that all Psychers have. It goes off in a 5. It usually does D3 mortal wounds, but they kind of get a little bit of a special smite when they have a certain amount of models. And this one, I think they just have longer range.
I also should explain that my faction has a specific. I know this because I play Q team. It's my first 40.
Yeah.
But they have a thing called Synapse.
Yes.
Where my units, they do not have leadership. A bug cannot flee.
Yes.
So
in
they have
40k, that's when you're in range of your HQ choices, which are your big beefy boys. So like your Hive Tyrant should have Synapse Range. You're absolutely right. Which would just prevent you from taking more out. Exactly. Yes. And then he has special aura, which is reroll reroll wound rolls of 1 when you shoot. We'll explain that when we get to it. And then there's one more rule of him. And then when you're shooting at his stuff, as long as this guy's within range of you have -1 to hit his stuff, but only for shooting. So that's kind of where the armies are at. Any questions about how the armies kind of function?
I'm a little lost, not because of anything, but more so like data sheets and stuff, which I think is really the learning curve of this game.
Yes.
But I'll learn it.
Yes.
I'm excited to throw around, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 Termagants. Each does, I'm excited to just throw a lot of dice because a lot of
they do throw out dice. So what we normally do at that point, after you talk about what your army is, what they do, you go to what the mission is. I've just chosen the random one from here, which is the first one. Then on the top here, if you guys see where I'm at, I'll just kind of highlight it. Up here, let me change the color. Up here, you guys see what I'm looking at?
Yep.
Just excellent. Scoreboard on the top. Very top up here. You can probably see my cursor.
Yes.
This is where you're going to be just tallying your points as you play the game. For this one, if you, Catbug, if you click right here.
Yep, player 1.
Or you could be player 2. It doesn't matter. That just determines, it just helps you keep track of what your points are. Here, as I was explaining earlier to people before stream, but basically every mission in 40k is usually the same. The primaries are based on hold 1, hold more. Hold 2 and hold more. If you hold 1 objective, you get 5 points. Hold 2 objectives, you get 10 points. Hold 3 objectives, hold more objectives than your opponent, you get 15 points. So objective play is really an important part of the game. Down here is where you would choose your secondaries. Every game you have 3. We're going to keep it simple. We're just going to do 1 this time around. And we're going to pick the same one. So I can't actually click it. You guys got to. Oh, that may not let you.
Can't actually click it.
Oh, it can't click it. Oh, hold on. I was going to click the mission pack. Why doesn't the mission pack work? Oh, it's not happy with the mission pack for some reason. Okay. I'll tally it for you. You guys are going to have a secondary called Engage of All Fronts. What Engage in All Fronts is that as long as you have a unit in 3 table quarters, you can score 2 victory points. If you have a unit in all 4 table quarters, you would score 3 victory points, and that's at the end of your turn. So it's just a little bit of additional way that you can score points. Usually a game has 3 secondaries. There's a lot more to choose from, but we're going to keep it simple today. Sound good?
Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. All right, after that, we're going to go into deployment. So now, there you go. Not sure why that's not working. So your deployment zones. Deployment zones are picked by mission, and they are going to be where that red line is and that green line. So the first thing you guys would do when you do deployment is first do a roll-off. So if you guys come up here, in fact, if I click space, that should bring you guys all to the dice. Did that work?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
So if this is a really, really handy tool in TTS 40K, again, thank you, Malice, and everyone who's come up with this. Actually, there's a lot of people invested in making these now, which is awesome. If you click 1, it'll do 1d6 dice for you. If you click 5, it'll click 5d6 dice for you. If you click select all dice, it'll highlight them for you. You'll just pick them up. And if you drop anything in this box, it'll roll it for you. And then you just need to right click to clear the map. And there's some other buttons on here. So for this, it's a roll off. So we're gonna have 1 blue, 1 red. Who Catbugs, it's your red, you could be red.
I'm blue.
It could be a little bit finicky. Oh. Alright, so winner of the roll-off gets to decide if they would like to deploy first or if they would like to deploy second. Usually, in most maps, the big thing is usually you would determine that based on like if the terrain was not symmetrical, not symmetrical. Since the terrain's symmetrical on these maps, it's not a big deal. So the person who goes first usually gets to pick what side they want to deploy on.
Question.
Yes.
I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself,
Mm-hmm.
but it's important for my positioning.
Yes.
How does psychic work?
Psychic. So there's 5 phases. There is the command phase, the movement phase, the psychic phase, the shooting phase. I'm sorry, there's like 6 or 7
This is
phases.
a little early. I just want to see where I position my zone.
So the way psychic works is exactly like Kill Team. You'll try to manifest the powers. You'll say what power you're trying to cast. You roll 2d6, so you roll 2 dice, and you have to roll exactly what the warp charge is or over. And that's exactly how psychic works.
Chat's making me depressed, by the way.
Someone talking about their girlfriend liking their models. Yeah, a rare case. Appreciate that person. Sorry. So what? Where were we? Sorry. Yes, deploy. So you get to choose if you want to deploy first and second. Basically, we'll keep red on here. We'll keep blue where green is.
I don't think it matters a lot because like terrain does not matter here. They fly.
So let's talk terrain because it actually can be pretty big. The first thing is 40K is based on true line of sight. What we mean by true line of sight is that if they can see any part of the model, you can shoot at. So if your models can see any part of a model, those models can shoot at. However, there's a few terrain rules they've kind of placed in that help reduce how potent shooting can be. So if you hover over these ruins, you'll notice that there's some traits. Scalable, breachable, light cover, defensible, and obscuring. Scalable means you can climb up it. So the only things that can climb up it are infantry. The only things that can end their movement on the second floor are things that fly, infantry. I think that's it.
I can't just deploy per se drone drone. I can just deploy him here, right?
He could be deployed there because he can fly. You would deploy him. They are a unit, so all 3 would have to be deployed.
Can I put a 2 in water here? Or no?
Yes, as long as they can fit on top, you could absolutely deploy them there. It's just as a unit. Those are infantry. The only one of yours that couldn't be up there is the Hive Tyrant because he's a monster. So because he doesn't have the fly keyword, by the rules, he's just not allowed to be up there, basically. Which Cat can certainly correct me if I'm wrong on that. So the other thing on here, the big one is light cover. The big ones. Light cover is +1 to your saves. So for your normal armor saves.
Here is obstructing line of sight, right?
And then there is obscuring. So this blocks line of sight, but obscuring is actually the big one. Obscuring basically means if you're behind a piece of terrain, you cannot shoot what's behind that terrain. So let's say, I'm going to use a model here. So let's say this troop master is here. I'm sorry, that troop was there, and this termagant was here. Because neither of them are touching or in this terrain, even though this gaping hole's here, neither could shoot each other. Because this is considered obscuring terrain, so you cannot see through the obscuring terrain. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's just a little bit of a way to reduce the overall shooting in the game so it's not as lethal. Because turn 1 can be very lethal in 40k if you're not careful. The last one to keep in mind is dense cover. So if you look at these woods, two things left. Dense cover and difficult ground. Defensible's a little bit weird, it doesn't come up much. Difficult ground means unless you are fly, you have -2 to your movement going through it. So if you touch that at all, your movement is reduced by 2. Dense cover means if you shoot through it, then you have a -1 to hit. So if, just another example, this termagant was trying to hit this player because he has to shoot over this dense cover, this forest, that's going to make him -1 to hit. So instead of hitting on 4s, he'll have to roll a 5 to hit that troop.
Yeah.
Which, that probably feels a little bit familiar to kill team rules.
Yes.
Which is kind of the similar thing. And then just keeping track of what has obscuring and not. So like these 2 runes have obscuring. This has obscuring, but it's not a huge deal because it's true line of sight still a factor even if you're in terrain. So you notice on this thing there is no windows, no way to see through it. This big old thing in the middle. Because of that, even if you're touching it, you can't shoot through it because there's no way to actually see through it. So like
assume you also can't pass through it.
Right.
I mean, he can because he's a flying clown, but
Exactly. So let's say you had your warrior here, and he had his troop master or a troop here. Even though you're in terrain now and the obscuring's gone, the troop still couldn't shoot because that warrior is still, there's no sight on him. You can't see him at all. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So those are all things to really think about, like where your ruins are, what your movement is, all that jazz when you're deploying your units. So now it's just remembering how units work. So, Zig, did you want to deploy first or second?
First.
First, okay. So you would pick a unit. So technically a character on its own is a unit, and you just put it down. And there you go. You can start in there if you'd like. If you want to be a little bit further back, you can do that.
No.
I would actually have to ask chat. I believe monsters and I believe vehicles do not get light cover. They can't benefit from light cover.
I actually just saw this in an argument. Yes, server 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, so people aren't sure. It is. I'm not sure it's up in there. I have to look. I think it specifies what units get light cover. It's been a while since I looked at that specifically. All right, so since he deployed a unit, now Catbug, it's your turn to deploy a unit.
Cool. So deploying is just putting it on the field, right?
Yeah, but you have to put it within your deployment zone. So that's going to be this green box here. So everything from this green box and back is your deployment zone. Each mission can have a different deployment zone.
What? So now it's a strategy question.
Yes.
What should I get my bigger units first or my smaller units first, or does it really depend on the game?
Great question. So this comes into more nitty-gritty nuances. Usually it depends what your opponent deploys first and what your strategy is for your game. Since this is kind of like a casual, you're going to beat the crap out of each other type of game.
I'm deploying my half turret because he's Synapse, and all my deployment is going to be around his Synapse range.
Yeah, so he's thinking about the fact that if he deploys him first, he has an idea where everything else is going. For you could kind of do a similar thing, because your shadows here is going to determine a lot of where your safety is. So what's really nice here, so another TTS tool that we can talk about. If you go to your number pad and press 4, you can actually make a ring around your unit that many inches, or 6 inches, or 5 inches, or 3 inches, or whatever, and that actually shows you what your aura range could be. So I think Synapse Range is actually pretty large. I think it's 9 inches.
So I'll place one in this ruin
No,
cover
it's-
right now.
Your Synapse Range is 18 inches. So basically on this board, it's impossible not to have Synapse Range.
Oh,
So press 1. Let me see what my auras do. So, are my auras shield from harm, or is it something else?
Your aura is Shield for Harm, which is that -1 the wound aura we were talking about.
Cool, thank you.
so my synapse range is like this.
Yeah, that's your Synapse Range.
How do you remove the?
Something to keep in mind as well. So where it says breachable, that means infantry can go through it, but your monsters actually can't walk through that terrain. So if you want to change where your monster is, he would actually have to walk around in order to get out. So
Yeah, I just want
it is
to-
usually
I-
kind of based on what it could fit.
is,
Like,
I want to place him into heavy cover, like
Mhm.
non-true line of sight.
yes,
Actually, he's pretty low range, right? Like 12 inches, most of it.
a lot of his stuff is going to be 6-inch range pistols, and then his Haywire bikes are actually 24-inch range. So there's a
then
range on that.
I'm putting it here. How do I remove the synapse range?
Just press 5. And you just keep clicking 5 and it'll reduce its size back down. And then, you can, like, if there is a hole in terrain, technically, if your base can fit, you can actually walk through it. I would say your base is probably small enough to walk through there if you wanted to. And remember, if you're right behind that terrain, he can't shoot you either way.
And do auras radiate through walls, or
Yes, auras are just...
that's cool.
They are 6 inches up. Think of it like more or less of like a 2D plane and more like a globe.
Got it. Cool. And then one more question.
Okay, you deploy your save.
What's your last question? Yeah.
I'm looking at the weapon list.
Mhm.
What does AP stand? Attack power, right?
AP is armor penetration. So
Cool.
for you, it's not going to come up much in terms of making saves, but if you look at his Termagants have a armor. Actually, I think they have like a 6-up save. So he would only be able to save wounds on his Termagants on 6s. If you have like your Haywire box that have AP of 1, which basically means it's impossible for him to make a save unless he's in cover.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But in the other hand, I have people like the Hive Tyrant that has a 3+. So
Yes. So-
and there's from what I remember there are some Space Marines that have like 2+.
Yes.
Of course.
Terminators usually have a 2-up save. They're right now. I don't have. What do Tier Warriors have? Warriors have a
I
3-up.
personally hate Space Marines.
I'm not going to say that my filthy Xenos heart agrees with you, but my filthy Xenos hearts agree with you.
Yes.
So, he would deploy the second unit, so you get to deploy your second unit.
Okay.
I
I'm gonna let me see. So
Now, you're going to have to... unfortunately, you've decided to play 40k on hard mode and picked a fairly elite, difficult army to really think about.
Let's
So for your troops, they're pretty fragile, so you really want to think about where you're going to put them so that you get the first round of shooting, not him. Just because you are very fragile.
let me see. Oh, which one is the melee one? Harlequins Kiss or
They're both melee, so you're really a melee combat army. You do have
Ooh.
some shooting, which isn't terrible shooting, but your big damage swings come from melee combat.
I forgot about something else. I also have a Shadow in the Warp.
Yes, which is like -1 to cast. I think that's on your Zoanthropes.
No, it's on Tyranid Warriors and Zoanthropes and Hive Tyrants.
Is that also on Warriors? Well, it is. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
It's because it's in lore. The Tyranid is like a massive psychic
Force, yeah.
Yeah, and then they make everyone has a presence in the warp that's basically 40k hell.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tyranid's mass is so big that it covers the others. They basically cock block you out of the warp.
okay.
I see what you're doing. Just to give you a little bit input.
Yeah.
For your aura, it's not a wholly within. So some things are specified as wholly within. Yours don't have to be wholly within. They can just be touching that aura and it benefits them. And because it's a unit, only one model has to be touching that aura. And the whole unit benefits from it.
Got it.
So
I'm
like,
gonna send one right here, and then everything else I'm gonna put behind this rune right here.
okay, awesome. So you don't even have to have it that close for this guy. You could have him like literally like here.
Got it.
And
Okay.
that would benefit. Yeah.
Cool.
The big thing to think about when you're deploying, you have to be within 2 inches of another model. When you're 5 and under, it's only one model each. So you only have to be 2 inches of another model in your unit. If it's 6 or more models, so for your big old squads here, Dino, you have to be within 2 inches of 2 models. So each model in these horde units have to be within 2 inches of another 2 models. So keep that in mind when you're deploying.
Yes. So
Alright.
now I deploy.
Yeah, and now you deploy. I'm sorry, if you don't want those there, you could totally take them somewhere else. I'll just give it.
I don't like
Okay.
it. Yeah. Oh, never mind. I don't like it anymore. Actually, do I have cover from? I do kind of have cover.
So yeah, so this would block line of sight. Remember, it's true line of sight though. So if you could like get something in here to shoot, you could potentially do that.
Yeah.
And same with here, you could potentially do that. So if you wanted to angle it a little bit more,
Can I
where
angle
that's
it a
not the
little bit?
case.
Are you guys okay with that?
Oh yeah, go right ahead. It's learning you.
Cool. Cool.
Yes. When you hit like, I wouldn't say higher brackets of 40k, but when you play like more match play, you have a better. Well, we're a terrible group. Well, you have like a good friend group to play with, or you have people who you're used to playing with. Playing by intention's a big thing, which basically means like I intended my models to be not in line of sight from certain angles that you're aware of. You may not cover anything, but playing by intention's a good way to kind of get an idea of like that's what my goal is.
Video on Q-Team because Tyranid models they have this huge tail and like there is a lot of times where I put some like I'm just showing like but the tail's showing and in the rules they have line of sight of the whole unit
Yes.
because the tip of the tail is showing.
Yeah, unfortunately that's still a thing in 40k. So you gotta try your best to kind of work around that.
Damn tails. And those claws also. The claws always stick out of cover.
Alright. So we got a big old group of those guys. I actually just need to check something real quick. Oh, I don't have it on. Okay, so here's a really big trick. I'm going to highlight every unit, and then if you right-click, you'll see your toggles. And what I'm going to turn on for everybody is measured movement. So now, when you just pick something up, it'll just do it automatically for you.
Nice, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I picked something up.
Yes.
Yeah, so now you get to set your another model wherever you want it. Or, sorry, another
Ooh.
unit.
What's this thing right here?
So, sorry, that is supposed to be part of your 5-man troop squad here.
Oh, I mean this little diagram thing.
Oh, diagram thing.
Really tiny. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I see a diagram. Oh, when you're hovering over it?
No, so I don't.
This
Basically,
thing
it looks
here.
like the roll menu right here for me.
Yes. There's a little row menu.
Oh, I don't see that. Interesting enough. I don't know, because I can't see it. I would just ignore it, I guess.
Kind of weird. That's cool.
Weird.
I'm gonna throw my other ones right here. My aura.
And I'm deploying my Turagons here. Flash bars.
Sorry, I'm just setting up something up while you guys are deploying. I figured out. I forgot how to do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Are my Skyweavers a squad or
Why I unlocked
platoon?
that?
Wait.
Hmm,
Are my Skyweavers a squad platoon slash thing or?
So
are they, like,
they
one
are.
each?
They are a unit. That's a 2-man unit there. And actually, I think, can you put them down a second and then pick them up again? I want to check something. Okay, you're good. Sometimes you might have your 3D measurement tool on, which actually counts the movement when you pick them up. Just you don't want to cheat yourself out of a few inches. Awesome.
And then, yep. Pass 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, so Zig,
Cool.
you're on your last drop, and then Cat, it'd be your last drop.
Cool. Does
Okay,
my
so
Troop
I'm
Master have an
going to
aura?
my brain bugs.
Sorry, Cat first, then Dino. Sorry.
Oh no, it doesn't. Never mind. I'm
Okay.
looking. I'm learning.
Is it my
So-
turn? He just deployed his players and it
Yep, it's your last drop now, which is your Zoanthropes.
brain bugs.
Rainbow.
The litany of deployment has been made, brother.
Oh, thank you. Was that
I
follow?
mean-
Thank you for the follow.
According to chat, they get girls.
They get-
Also, according to chat, they get girls.
They get what? Sorry.
According to chat, nerds get girls. So zone tropes.
Forward to victory.
So,
Oh yeah, no, Zoanthropes are terrifying. I'm actually very
Yeah,
worried
they're
about
like-
this.
They're like more brain than bug.
Mm-hmm. They're actually
Have
very
my-
good on the table too.
I'll have my dude right. No, I want the wall to block him, so I'll do it right here.
Well, remember, you can't target them as long as he's within 3 inches of a unit with 3 or more models, or a vehicle. So you could have him. I think it's closest unit though, so you want to make sure those are in front.
Got it. So I'll put him like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Cool.
Awesome. So after everyone's deployed, right?
Everyone's deployed, so we
Yeah. So now you come back to your dice tray and you have a roll off to see who goes first.
Is it 1 dice or 2 dice?
It's just 1 dice. Just 1 dice.
The litany of deployment has been made, brother.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Who's that? I can't see. I am blind.
It was Combo Face, Honey Mustard, Mick
I roll
TikTok.
the 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You have to be the 1.
you have to be the one.
The one.
Can you be the one?
No, I did not put it into the box. Or
You know, you haven't rolled it yet. Nope. It's 2. You just be the one. In new 40k rules, you have to go first. So there's no you choose. You just have to go first.
Yeah, I would actually rather lose this roll, so you know.
Yeah, sometimes you do. There are some, like Harlequins actually rather go second, so this is actually kind of in their favor. So now we go to our phases. So what we do up here for TTS, we go all the way to top. We say that you are the blue player, so they're going to start first. We click start game, and we get
Okay.
started. So on the top here, you see these command points. Basically, what command points are extra things for you to spend through the game. Now we're for things called stratagems. We're not going to focus super hard on individual stratagems through the game. We're just going to use what's in the core rulebook, which is like a reroll charge. You get to reroll 1 dice or a shooting attack. Just keep it easy.
The question, it's basically everyone throws themselves in front of the troop master. Like if a bullet's come from the troop master, it's actually in the players.
Because of how the character rule works, you can't even target the troop master. It has to go into the players.
Because the players show themselves in front of them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're simps.
Basically, yes. So every command phase, that's the first thing. So if you notice here, there's a little button that you can control that tells you what phase you're in. Command phase, some armies do some cool stuff in it. Neither of your armies have anything in the command phase yet. It's new to 9th. So we just kind of skip it. You guys basically get a command point. The command phase is also where points are scored. However, at the start of the game, no primaries can be scored. It's only until second turn that primaries get scored. So we just click next. So blue player, Mr. Zig, I need you to click the command phase button there. And you go to your movement phase. So now you start moving. Remember, different from Kill Team, you move all your unit together. That said, you can move individually. So let's say if you wanted to move 1 model at a time, you certainly could.
My twin warriors to this point.
Yeah, just be aware that when you move them, that's probably about, I would say they probably need to be right against the wall because you have to move down and then over.
But I mean, they have 6-inch movement, so they can just.
Yeah, be a 6-inch move, and then let's see, we would have to measure how the height is. So I go to my 3D measuring, and make sure I'm in my line tool. So that would actually basically get you down. Because it's
Yeah,
about
I
6
just
inches high.
want to capture the point.
No mercy, no respite!
So what's nice about the objective is that it's a 3-inch from the objective edge of the objective. So it's a 3 inches from the edge of the objective to capture it. So you could actually have your Tyranids inside, and because it's 3 inches away from the center there, they would still have that objective. So you could protect your Tyranid warriors and have that objective because you're hiding them inside the ruin. So
Okay.
they could be like right there, and they would have the objective still.
Okay, I did not know that, but that's mistakes were made, but they were already.
Oh no, you could totally do that, and I think with your movement anyway, because it's 6 inches straight down, you would just end there.
Oh, okay. But no, actually, I'm going to put them here because in near future, I want them to be able to shoot at the points.
Oh yeah,
So,
what I'm saying is that because it's 6 inches down and your movement is 6, you basically couldn't move them forward from where they were.
Yeah, and I'm talking about like next turn. If he move those players to this thing here, I could shoot him with my Tyranid warriors. So it's like a
Right. The only thing what I'm stating is that because you started them on top of the ruins, all they could do is 6 inches down. Does that make sense? They would have to end their movement here. They could not move forward.
And how does advancement work?
Advancing is you roll a d6, and that would be in addition to your movement, very much like Kill Team. When you do advance, you lose the ability to shoot with some weapons or to do some actions or other things like that.
I mean, I have no shooting with my.
Oh, what's the idea?
Yeah, so, yeah, like, if you're a Hive Tyrant, it wouldn't really matter because he doesn't have any guns.
Oh,
Okay.
so when you move, do you get to move only one unit or all your movement?
Basically in your turn, you do all of your stuff. You move all your units, you do all their shooting, all their charges, all their activations.
Got it. Oh,
Oh, we lost Zig.
so while that's happening, can I ask some more questions about like data
Absolutely.
sheets and stuff? Cool. So for Harlequins and just in general, I can already tell that my goal is to get in melee range and stab people.
Yes.
But which is perfect. I love melee classes. But my question is advance and charge, that was it.
Mhm.
And then 2, it's just so S is and then D. What does S and D do? And the
Oh, hold on, let me see.
thing.
S and D in the stats.
Yep. It's in the very bottom for the weapon stats.
So day is damage. So that's how much damage that weapons do.
Got it. And what does 1 mean? Just 1 damage flat?
1 would be 1 damage flat. So if you have like 5 wounds, and you got 2 1 damages through, you do 2 damage total. Then S is strength. So where it says strength +2. So if you're looking at your shadows here, that means you take their base strength and add 2 to it. So that the shadows here is essentially strength 5 with his melee weapon.
Got it. Also, check Discord.
Check Discord.
You got a message from
Somebody. Oh. Who did I message from?
Zig or Zig.
Zig. Oh, there we go. His net died. Oh, hopefully he can come back. It happens.
Cool. And then, is there anything that you'd recommend that I pick up and learn? Not before I even learn Harlequin, but what about just should I read something or anything like that?
My recommendation, again, we'll take a moment to plug TTS Warhammer 40K. Their YouTube channel is a lot of stuff for just setting up your listen stuff. So they have how you can do what's called Battle Scribe to TTS. If you don't have Battle Scribe, it's a really, really great roster builder for you to build, edit, make your army lists. And then there is a program essentially through Tabletop Simulator that allows you to apply the stats to those models. So what you see here, all the models on the stats, that was kind of not like a hand manual job where you had to put each of them in, but without that tool, you wouldn't get as much information or some of the cool tools and abilities that we've been using, like the auras. That's a Battlescribe to TTS thing.
Got it.
The other big thing I would say is just if you can find good bat reps. I know the 40k TTS channel has a bunch of Alpha League bat reps on it, which is more kind of the competitive bracket. There's a few great channels that are outside of TTS that would still apply. I'm a huge fan of Tabletop Tactics. They have a lot of fun, they're entertaining, but you can definitely learn how the game works through them. Tabletop Titans is like the more high-end competitive kind of list, but would also give you a good idea of how to play.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Another thing, books. If you're ever planning to play in person, pretty much it's expected if you're going to a tournament to have a codex and your rules. For TTS, a lot of people are a little bit more lenient because you can get a lot of your rules on Wahapedia, which Malice has just put in chat, which has pretty much all the core rules. Has a lot of the updated rules. It has pretty much all the codex information in it. It's just usually not considered an official source. So when you're in like a tournament or something, you need to be in an official source.
Oh, my shitty internet just came back.
You're good. It happens.
I'm really sorry. Chat. I'm really sorry.
Wait,
Brazilian internet.
It's part of the nature of being on the internet.
Yeah, it's part of the nature of being Brazilian, actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, true. I can't comment. I do not know enough about the world, and I do not want to sound offensive.
Our internet is bad.
Okay.
That's all I really need to know.
Yes, you were asking about advances. All you have to do is roll a d6 and move that. You add that to your movement. Some weapons cannot shoot in advance. I don't know about. I would have to look at your rules specifically. I do not think.
My Hive Tyrant is his melee. He won't shoot anything.
Yes. Yeah, getting closer faster is not a bad idea. You don't have an advance at charge.
Can you, if they charge my guy?
Yes.
Can I shoot while they are in melee?
Great question. Not unless you have a rule that states so, or if you're a vehicle or monster. So it's, let's say for some reason your Swarm Lord or Hive Tyrant had a gun.
About my Hive Tyrant, like if I move my Hive Tyrant to the point,
yes,
and they charge him, can I shoot him with my? Can I shoot his players that charge my Hive Tyrant with my Turin Warriors?
No, good question. That's a kill team thing. If he does not charge your warriors, then they cannot do what's called an Overwatch. And Overwatch.
No, I'm not talking about Overwatch. I'm talking about like my next shooting phase.
Oh, if they are still in combat, no. You cannot shoot into the combat of other units, unless again you have a rule that says otherwise.
Can I psychic into the combat of the other units?
Yes, you absolutely can psychic into units.
Okay. So I am advancing my Hive Tyrant.
Okay.
I'm really sorry, guys. Just.
I know you're good. It happens. In fact, someone in chat also said they know the pain.
Yeah, chat probably wants to kill me now. Okay, so.
Combo Face asks, can pistol type weapons shoot at point blank, or is that a kill team thing? Yes, they can absolutely shoot point blank, but you cannot shoot pistols from another unit into another unit's combat. So let's say
3 + 9, that's a 12-incher.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is not enough.
Yes, because you'd have to also go through the woods, which would be -2 to your movement.
I think he goes here.
Sure.
Just so you know, he does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can still be charged because those are flying guys. They space.
So good thing to also mention. The fly only applies when he moves, so he couldn't jump over that wall in his charge phase. He could, and there is a charge phase. Unlike kill team, there is a phase for charging. So it's not movement has the charge phase; it's movement, and then you can charge. However, he says he can't actually. He would have to get over that wall or go around that wall. So he would either have to move over that wall or then charge up and then down, or he would have to charge around the wall.
Okay, so I am advancing my Harmagons. I'm used to playing with High-Foot Kraken, where you can just advance the whole map.
Yeah.
I think you roll
Alright.
2d6 to advance with them.
Yeah, we know another 3.
11 inches. I'm really afraid to move near, and then he advances, then charges me.
Yeah, that is 40k. It's trying to figure out what sacrifices you want to make.
Yeah, this is going to go badly for me because knowing how mobile Harlequins are, I'm betting they can just move to the points and I lose them because I'm not in them. So 11 inches.
But remember, I don't know what I'm doing, so
Yeah, and for the learning purposes, I wouldn't worry too much about this. In fact, I would say with a 500-point game and with these two armies, you're looking a lot at probably a turn 3 or turn 4 table for one or the other. Table basically means you've lost all your models.
Nice. Oh.
I'm inside the point.
Yeah, and don't forget that yeah, that -2 movement in there. So I didn't see what you rolled, but you should because you went through there. You had a 3, right?
Yeah. No.
So,
I had 11 inch.
yeah, so you would have to move 9 because of the difficult terrain there.
Oh, okay. I thought it already accounted.
So yeah, just move back 2. You should still be in, because again, it's 3 inches from the edge of the objective, so you should still be fine.
No.
The state 2 actually does not do the 3 inches from the edge, if I remember correctly. Oh, it might. Let me do it with just normal measurement, just in case, because sometimes... Yeah, you got it. Or, because you had... What you could do, actually, is because you rolled a 3, instead you'd have just some guys walk around it, and you'd be fine.
Oh, yeah. So then, like, this one
Mhm.
walk around here, this one walk around here. Oh, fine. I think my flashboards are just going to move, my Termagants. Just 6 inches.
Diamond, typically, if there's a roll like that, it would be on the datasheet. I did not see a roll like that on their datasheet.
For people in the chat, I'm moving my Termagants over here because I know that he's going to try to get in the point. Then I can shoot him while... Actually, I'm not going to move here.
I don't think Cat knows what he's doing at all yet. I think you're out taking Cat's turn before Cat even knows what he's doing.
I'm
Yeah,
right
I
now
know
just
No,
thinking.
because I
wanna get this
actually
point.
have to move here because then he can advance, then charge me, and my guys are shooting. Then I die.
I want to
Horribly.
do this one, and then I want to do this guy. That's all I think right now.
The big
Kill the
scary
big
man.
That's-
You're worried
that's-
about essentially what is the distraction card effects.
Yes. The distraction card effects.
Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here. No, I'm not gonna talk about my strategy. Okay.
You guys are thinking hard for a learning game. At this point, I'd be like, I'm just gonna smack that and hope it dies. That's kind of where I'd be at.
Also, Diamond.
I don't know.
Diamond Karens are one of the single most fun units in the entire game.
They're pretty cool.
I love Diamond Karens. Just Diamond Boot says it has Diamond Karen PTSD.
I think you moved the one. So it's just a zone. Yep, it's your zone throws now.
They move 5 inches.
Mhm.
They still want to attack with them.
And they can advance in Psychic. That is a thing. There's no penalty to advancing in Psychic. If you fall back, you cannot Psychic. That is a new rule of that.
If I am within, no, yeah, I'm also. I just moved 5.5, no, 5 inches. So I roll a d6 to see if I can advance more than that. Yes, 5 more inches.
Nice. Oh,
I went.
sorry guys, I'm missing the dice trick.
Smiting range of here. So
Let's see. Can I do this? Nope. I want the picture-in-picture to work, but there we go. For some reason I can't move the picture-in-picture once I have it. There we go.
What was a total army wipe call again? Army wipe.
For the what? I'm sorry?
What was a total army wipe call again?
Tabling.
Tabling. Okay.
Tabling, yeah. Which
that's it for my movement.
you'll unlike Kill Team, I would say you see it more often in 40k, especially It's not super common for it to
Yeah,
happen turn one,
I
turn
mean,
two, but
I tabled someone today in Q team, so it happens in Q team.
let's move this here. Is that a
Yeah,
good spot for it?
tower,
Where's it here? All right.
tower.
So you've all moved.
Yes.
I've not moved yet. Oh,
So he does all his stuff first. So you kind of just wait here.
that's what I remember. That's what I said. My bad.
So your
Oh,
high
okay.
tyrant has some psychic powers. So you would go into your
Oh.
psychic phase next.
Yeah, I have to cast with 2 people actually. The
Yep.
tyrant and the Zontron.
So we pick some for you already. If you put one on your thing, it tells you the 2 powers. Catalyst is lets a unit have what's called a 5-up feel no pain is what people refer to.
Smite is funnier.
Smite in this case it requires line of sight. So Smite is a power that requires line of sight in the position.
So it's just going to be with my Zoan trope.
Let's see. I would say in the case of the Zoanthrope, because don't forget that ruins also has obscuring, so you couldn't look through the ruins. You wouldn't be able to target them either.
Well, then I'm just going to cast some buffs.
Yeah. So you have your buffs. Your Hive Tyrant.
Okay. So like, actually, I can't cast buff with my Zone Drop because I thought Paroxysm was a buff, but no, it's a impediment.
Apparently, you can use it. Sorry, just to enter chat. Yeah, you can use the dice tray in picture-in-picture mode. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Look at that.
So I'm casting with my Hive Tyrant.
Yes, and he has Catalyst and Psychic Scream. I don't know if Psychic Scream needs line of sight. I'll check that. There are some powers that do not require line of sight.
The newest unit within it does not.
No, Psychic Scream does not. So you could cast that without line of sight.
Yes, on the player.
So you're gonna cast Psychic Scream.
Yes, on the players.
Okay. Yes, they would probably be the nearest. So it says nearest unit, so it'd be the players. You are within deny range. Deny range is 24 inches. So this is Cat where you kind of have an option to have like some initiative. He's about to cast a power. If he gets the power off, you probably want to do your best to try to deny it because mortal wounds really ruin your life. So
what is the difference between a wound and a mortal wound?
So a mortal wound can only be resisted by what is essentially called a feel no pain. That is something that ignores damage. So any ability that would say on a blank you ignore damage. Catalyst, which is what your Hive Tyrant.
Ignore damage, right?
They do not. They do not have a way to avoid ignore damage. Their invuln save is just a save that can't change. That's an armor save that is pretty much stuck at where it is. You would go saves, so your armor save or your invuln save.
Wait a second.
Yes.
Do Harlequins have shuriken pistols?
They do have shuriken pistols, yes.
That's the most weird thing I ever heard. It's a pistol that shoots shurikens. Okay, sorry, it was just...
Oh, you're good. That's a whole Craftworld Elder thing. All Craftworld Elder have shuriken catapults. They literally just shoot shuriken that's like micro size, like literally the size of atoms, and they tear apart atoms. The lore is super dumb, but I love it. So, you're gonna start with Psychic Scream. So the first thing you need to do is get 2 dice, and the warp charge on Psychic Scream, if you look at the data sheet, says it is a 5 with an 18-inch range. So you need to roll a 5 or more.
Got it. So
first dice is a 4.
So it's guaranteed the fast. You go get it off on a 5. So now, Catbug, you have a chance to deny this. You just need to roll over a 5. So in order to do a deny, you roll 2d6, and you only have 1 deny. So this will be your only one you can do it. It's coming from your shadows here. And if you roll over...
Okay, so you can only deny 1 time per game, I think.
No, you can deny as 1 time per churn. Depends on how many your psychers have.
Okay.
So, like, you have your Hive Tyrant has 2 casts, 1 deny. Your Zoanthropes have 2 casts, 1 deny. So, or actually, hold on, let me double check. I'm not sure how many casts Zoanthropes have. Sorry, your Zoanthropes have 1 cast, 1 deny. Yeah. So you would get 2 denies per turn, whereas he only has 1 deny, and as soon as you kill that character, his denies are gone. Does that make sense?
Yes. I am myself. You deny, right?
yeah.
I am casting again because I can. Now it's warp charge 5, so
Honey, that's correct. You can deny twice if you have 2 denies.
Sorry.
So yeah, so that one goes off. So now you can do Catalyst,
And he passes.
and he passes.
Uh,
So really, actually, kind of just
Can
to
I
give.
cast the same thing twice?
No, you can only cast every power once. That includes smites. You can cast multiple times in a phase. However, every time you try to cast a smite, the cost of the power goes up by 1. So that smite is the only thing you can cast multiple times. Everything's a once of. And
My Warmagons are catalysted.
excellent. So this is kind of where I'm going to say I talk competitive. What's not known about psychic powers, just kind of a heads up that other people may not know. You don't have to declare who the target is until after you get your power manifested. So if you wanted them to have to really think about what you might catalyst or what you might buff up, and you don't want to say it yet, that is something you can do. Just a little bit of mind games. So your Hormagaunts are catalysted.
What's
Yes.
that do?
So basically that means they have that ignore damage. So even if they have a 6-up save base, and now right now they're in the woods, which means that he has light does this not have light cover? Oh, that doesn't have light cover. Weird. Okay, sorry. So they have a 6-up save. So when you shoot at them, they'll get to roll their saves, and then for the damage, they get to roll a way to ignore the damage. That's basically what that means.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So let's say if your Haywire Bikes, which are AP1, shot at them, they wouldn't get to save, but then he'd still get to make up the 5-ups in case he wanted to.
Those things move far.
Yes, they move very far, very fast. Harlequins are a very fast army.
I feel like a toddler right now. I have no clue what. Well, I have a clue what's going on, but.
There's a lot to learn. There is. It's a lot to take in. But as a lot of people are learners as they do things, so as you do it, it'll probably make more sense.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so that's. I don't think your Zone Throats might have a power. I don't know if it's about.
I can. I think it's a fight first. Let me see. Make something like first.
It's Paroxysm, which is until your next phase. That unit cannot fight in the phase until all other units do so. So that's actually a reverse fight first. You could basically make another unit not fight first. This actually just got FAQ'd. If he charges, then they kind of cancel each other out because charging is considered a fight first. But that would matter with like multiple units in combat, basically.
Okay, so I do not have anything within 18 inches, so I cannot cast it.
Okay. All right, sorry, my dog's being silly. All right, so shooting. Do you have anything that's in range or can see? So you, if you go up to the movement phases, I can't click them. And click to movement, you just did psychic.
Did I hit it?
Oh no, Zig has to hit it.
That's basically Tyranids. Guns that shoot fist.
Yeah, pretty much. Zig, you'll have to click the button to move us from movement to psychic to shooting.
Boop.
You see what I'm talking about, Zig? Dino, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Can you click the button up there? The movement button?
This one?
Yeah. Oh. Someone click the deployment zones. Hold on. Nope. There you go. Area denial is another secondary.
Want me to
Okay.
right click so we pass the turn again?
Oh.
It's my turn.
That's fine. We'll just come back to it. So basically, you're in your shooting phase. Do you have anything that can shoot?
I just pass along. I don't have anything.
Yeah, because these are 12 inches. These guys can't see. These guys can't shoot. And these guys don't have guns either. So basically now...
The people here are there for shooting the points.
And you have to be within 12 inches to declare a charge. He's not within 12 inches of anything. So it goes over to morale. There's no morale. You would check at the end of your turn. Even in the first turn, you get to score your secondaries. If you're in 4 table quarters, so there's this handy button that shows table quarters. You're not quite in 4 just yet, but you'll get there. So then it would go over to Catbug. So Catbug, it is your turn. So you start with your command phase.
Command.
Which, again, you're an older army. Even though you've been doing really, really well in the competitive scene, but you're an older army. So you don't really get any stuff yet. So just
Okay,
FYI.
good. I thought I got like, oh god, I don't know what the command phase is, and I'm like, okay, it's just like upkeep in Magic. So
So it basically is. It's where you would score the points. Basically, is the way I think of it now, and you get a free command point. So then you go to your next phase, which is your movement phase.
cool. Let me click on this thing. Movement phase.
So now
Okay.
this is where you got to think about.
Are we doing stratagems or no? I don't think so. Right?
We're doing the core rulebook, so you can do the free reroll, which is once per actually phase for everybody. So if you wanted to reroll in his turn, you can. If you want to reroll and so Catbug, if you want to reroll in your turn, you can. If you want to reroll in his turn, you can. It can be used for a save, a shooting attack, a number of shots, which I'll explain in a second. Pretty much it's used for everything except for damage and mortals, and feel no pains. So we'll explain that when we get there.
Got it. Can I make a mad dash like over here and not get shot?
So basically when you're doing your movement, there's nothing that can interact with your movement phase. There's only stratagems, which we're not using today, and neither army really have those right now. Actually, your army is the one that has all those. Harlequins are literally the army that has all the movement phase shenanigans in his turn, so you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, you can make a mad dash to where you want. You've got that 8-inch move, but don't forget you can advance if you'd like. Harlequins are the special one where you can advance and charge, but you cannot advance and shoot. So you wouldn't be able to shoot your pistols if you advanced. When you want to, you could, if you want to advance, you add D6. So you would roll D6 and add it to your movement. And you just want to think about where you go. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about one of your guns because this does matter. Your Haywire bikes have something called Blast. Blast is something that gives you a benefit when you're shooting at horde units. It's basically kind of simulates an explosion. So imagine you're blowing things up. So basically that means you're guaranteed a certain amount of shots versus something that has a lot of models in it. That's all Blast is.
Oh no.
So yeah, so he's saying, oh no, because it's for 6 or more models, he has 2 squads that are 6 or more models. So depending on where you want to point those bikes, they could do a lot of damage.
Okay, I was about to press delete. Okay, let me see. Oh wait, I can just hover over for the number. Okay, 16 inches of movement. Let's see. I'm gonna cut through.
Yep, and you're so there's another rule tool to talk about. Those have assault. Those are assault weapons. Assault weapons you can advance and shoot, but you have a you suffer a penalty of -1 to hit. In 40k, so this is something different from Kill Team. You can only ever have a modifier of -1 or +1 for hits and wounds. So you can never go beyond -1 or +1. So if there's a situation where you would have to shoot through dents, there's like no reason you shouldn't advance anyway.
Can I advance and charge to get to like right here if I get lucky, or is that like impossible?
So you got a really nice thing. Yours is one of the fastest arms in the game. If you press 1 on your Skyweavers, read the top ability, Blur of Color.
I'm loading. Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Cool. I have to click on it first. I'm smart.
You can charge all the way the entire map in turn 1.
Oh!
So you just auto advance 6 with those. So you don't even have to roll a dice. You just auto advance 6. So you could absolutely go the 6 additional issues. However, you are making a Hail Mary charge either way because that is still at least 10 to 11 inches. Which you're not likely to make.
So 6 inches right here. I just want to make it here because isn't my flot cannon or my one weapon like a cannon? So I can do it from range?
Your cannon is a 24-inch range. So you...
I can chill here.
Yeah, you could absolutely chill there. In fact, I'm going to just move him over slightly because just important thing to note, you notice how your model's over the board edge?
Yeah,
you don't want that to happen.
To capture the point. Points are important.
Yeah. You might want to move forward to capture the point. He's absolutely right. That extra, you wouldn't even need to use the full movement. You could end like here or here. And then you would be in control of the objective. However, you would be getting closer to him, which puts you in charge range. So you you want to debate to yourself, do you want to score later and do damage first? Or do you want to do as many points as you can get first?
Charge here,
I want to do damage probably.
Charge with my Hive Tyrant, then charge with my Tyranid Warriors.
Yeah.
So your bikes will be pinned by 3 entire units.
So Harlequins are kind of a tricky army where you really want to think about when to engage. You have to make a lot of thought processes because you can go away very quickly. So you have to really think about, do you want to be closer? Because you do smack hard, however, you do die hard. So you have the option of getting closer, and those are your tankier units. Are those 2 bikes? They're 3 wounds each. They're toughness 4 instead of toughness 3, so a little bit harder to get wounds on. So that's kind of up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do because I don't want to cheat.
Okay. Oh, this is off the table. Sorry.
You're good.
So this guy has no line of, or he has partial line of sight, but it's through the forest. But this guy has full line of. No, he also has partial.
Mhm.
So I think I'm set if I chill here with those guys.
Okay.
I'm not gonna charge. I'm not gonna go for the point because if he does, he can do a Hail Mary with all my units and then kill my tanky boys.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna do a range thing. Then I'm gonna start moving some other units because I think this is a really good position for them. Because I can do that. Okay.
I will do
That-
a churn summary at the end, so don't worry about it.
Then I'm gonna play. I'm gonna move my Shadow Seer to my point. Just because I'm gonna move. Or I'm gonna move. Wait, how far was that? 6 inches. Okay. And do I have to walk around with this guy?
Remember, he has fly, so your whole army has fly, so you're ignoring terrain. So you don't have to really worry. Like, what's nice about Harlequins is you're basically like, oh, this building's in my way, whatever.
So I was right here. So basically that's my 6 inches of movement.
You have 8 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have plenty of
check
room.
out what ability. I want to see what other abilities. So
That guy has 2 powers too. You are in deny range, just keep that in mind. One of them is called Shards of Light. It's like a second smite, but it reduces the leadership. Really not a big thing in this game, as he was talking about. He has Synapse, so he pretty much auto passes morale anyway. It does make your grenade launcher a little bit better, but that's about it. The other thing is a move again. Now, the move again is a really kind of cool trick. So you can move a unit within 3 inches, you cast a move again on them, and they get to move in your psychic phase again.
Is it the psychic phase I can get? Wait.
No, I'm just telling him what his powers are so he knows where to move
got
them.
it. So I'm gonna capture the point with that guy, and also flank with these 4 right here, and move 1 unit like right here.
Okay.
Or actually, can I do something like that?
Do you want to rethink your movement? 'Cause we can go back in time if you need to.
No. I do not really want to charge you because if I do, everything's going to charge me, and my Hormagaunt will be alone there and sad.
Are these melee guys? Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
are melee. I don't have to worry. Oh, I thought they weren't. So yeah, I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna give you like my bit of advice. You're kind of an army that, and just because this may be a very short game if I don't, you need to get that first turn charge. Like, you need to be the one to charge first because you've got a bunch of 1 wound models, and he's a horde army, and he's got a lot of psychers. So he's gonna kind of bypass the survivability of your army very quickly just through weighted dice and through psychic
not
attacks.
really, because I have like a 1 psychic attack here and 2 here.
Right, but I don't know. I can't remember kill team. Just remember you guys were a little bit further back because they were back here. So we'll go back a little few.
Right here. Or you can just go back in time.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on, 33 seconds should be enough. Remember, I can't remember how it is in kill team. Because psychers aren't as prevalent. I know they are a big thing in. Didn't go on back enough. Hold on.
Only 2 factions in the entire 2-team roster can do psychic.
And I believe Grey Knights, it's only 1 mortal wound, right? There we go.
Yeah,
You're back.
Grey Knights. Bro, you play Grey Knights?
I did play Grey Knights. I love Grey Knights.
Yes.
Yeah, your psychers are all smites are D3 mortals. So when you're looking at his team, a lot of his dudes are only 1 wound. So you can actually kind of rip apart the Harlequins just through the psychic phase, if he doesn't get a good deny off.
Yeah, but my plan here is to those for gaunts or bait. Like, gaunts are not useful. Gaunts are meant to die.
Yes,
They're the guardsmen.
they definitely can be. Although this is one of the few matchups because there's so many of them, they actually do really well.
Yeah, I mean, not really because I kind of want them to die. Like those Tormagons over here, bait.
Right. What I'm saying is they're what 2 attacks each, right? And you're rerolling wound rolls a run, and you're at strength 3. You're only strength 3, and you're hitting on 4s. But because you have so many attacks out of those guys, because you're getting an attack per model, right? That's at least 20 attacks if you get all them all in. That right there can kill a whole squad.
For my shadows here then.
So think kind of.
Yeah,
think, probably. Do you wanna charge my dudes, then get charged for everyone, or and like get your unit charged by 50 units, or wait and get the in charge together, but suffer a bonus round of plaking?
Yeah, so that's kind of where he's stuck into decision making. Is kind of what I'm pointing at is that he kind of needs to do the most damage first, because if you do the most damage first, it's going to be really hard for him to recover.
Yes.
Got it.
Now the choice for him is: do you do the damage first, but then I do damage second, but do more damage, or does he wait until take a little bit of damage and does more damage later?
Yeah, it's a hard decision. So, and don't forget, your guys can advance and charge. So you don't. So if you want them to charge in, they can get a lot closer.
Another thing is that if you charge my range units, they can overwatch. That means everyone fires at you if you charge them.
That is true. It does cost a CP now. It's not free anymore. So it's like Kill Team where it costs a CP to do.
Okay. So
It's free or does it cost CP?
It costs 1 CP. 1 CP to Overwatch now.
I moved my shadows here a little bit more forward just to see if I can get the aura to reach a little bit better. And I'll move it probably more if I decide to. But right now I'm gonna move right. Oh, I missed the guy.
That's okay. You can just move the other guy with him later. That's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna charge and
Now those guys don't auto advance, so you would have to roll it for them.
I'm gonna move the 8 inches though. I think that's 7.9, but yeah. And then I roll 1 dice in the funny dice roller, and let's see. I got a 1.
Hey, so this might be a moment where you say, okay, 1 sucks. I want to get a lot closer. I want to guarantee that charge. So this is where we could talk stratagem. So there's a stratagem you could use that you can reroll 1 dice, and it could be an advanced roll. So if you wanted to have something better than the 1, you could reroll.
Let's do it. Here's another dice.
So 5 is a lot better than
I
1.
wouldn't say anything, but that's a way. I now saying after it, that was a wasted command point, because if you got 1, that's 1 plus your 8. That's enough to get into charge range.
He's already in charge range, but there's always that risk that you might fail it, especially since he's not ignoring the -2 when he charges you, because you're in that terrain there. So it actually would have been quite a large charge. Even from where he is, he's still having at least a minimum 5. So it's something to consider.
Yeah. And how does charge work?
So when you get to the charge, we'll get there when we get to the charge phase, because you're not going to have much shooting.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna yeet these guys. This is 5, 6, 7, 8 inches.
Yeah, you do ignore the dents in your movement phase, so you wouldn't have to worry about the minus now.
Okay. 8, and then I'm gonna do 1 more. I'm gonna charge again, or not
advance.
Charge, you know what I mean? Yeah, advance. 3.
3 inches. So they go 3 more inches.
1, 2, 3.
Now just make sure that because that one model would be like falling on the other model, he's got to be behind your guys.
Got it. Like this.
And you definitely want to make sure you block your characters, because they're a lot of your army. If you so if you want to talk like really nitty gritty efficiency and points, your bikes are about 55 points each. Your troop squads are about 100 points for the 5 guys. Your Shadow Seer alone is like 115 points.
Yeah, the Shadow is protect the Shadow.
So
actually, no, not protecting, just leaving it open.
As far as I
can just let him go. And then you still have your Troop Master too.
Yep. Does my Troop Master have any fun movement stuff?
He's just like everyone else. He ignores the movement. He doesn't have any like auto advances or anything.
Got it.
As you learn the army, that's actually a stratagem you will have, is that you can just pay a CP and auto advance 6 inches.
So I'm gonna move 8 right here. Hopefully I can,
Yeah,
No mercy, no respite!
he's got to move back
It's
a
like-
little. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that.
like right here. Yep. Is this good? Yeah. And then I'll do that with those gamers, and then this will be my defensive line. And
Hey,
Those
first.
gamers.
yeah, they're literally
True
jokers.
elder Minecraft.
All right, so
True elder
now
Minecraft.
you get your psychic phase.
Yeah, I was super confused when that happened, but let me look at my abilities. So I have Shards of Light, Smite, and Twilight Pathways.
Yes. Now, if I remember correctly, I think Shards of Light requires line of sight. So the only thing you can really do from the position that you're in is the Twilight Pathways, which is basically you get to move a unit again.
Got it.
Yeah, it's closest visible.
Cool.
So-
Question.
Yes.
Question.
Mhm.
In theory, if they charge my guns, okay. Actually.
Oh, don't forget that if you're gonna do the psychic power, you actually have to cast it first.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was automatic. Okay. How do you cast it? This is
So,
kinda dumb, but-
You go. No, you're good. You're learning. That's the point. So you go to the dice tray. You're gonna pick, get 2d6, and then if you look over your model, it says what the WC cost is or the warp charges. So if you're looking at what is the warp charge of Twilight Pathways?
3, I'm pretty sure. No, 6.
6. So you need to roll 6 or higher.
Got it. Okay, and then.
So
Oh,
that wouldn't be enough. This is another moment you could spend it, but realistically,
You shouldn't.
yeah, you really don't need to be closer. So I probably wouldn't do it.
got it. Okay, so I'm sad now.
So that's your psychic phase, because you can't see anything else.
Yeah.
So then you go to your shooting phase. So you do have a little bit of shooting. You don't have a ton. The only thing that these guys can't shoot because they advance. They only have pistols. So but your bikes can absolutely shoot.
But they have a -1 because they advanced.
You did not advance with the Skyweavers, right? You thought about it.
Wait, let me. Yes, I did think about it, and then I kept them there because of
Yeah.
range.
Oh, okay.
So because you're touching the dents, you don't have a minus for it. They're 24 inches range. So this is where you start looking at your weapon profile. So if you go down to your haywire cannon, you'll see it type is how many shots you get. So do you see where it says assault D6?
Yep.
So
Okay. So like those haywire cannons, they are so going to one shot my guys.
they might. But you'll still probably have a few left, or you should, statistically. So the first thing you gotta rule is you have 2 bikes. They both have haywire cannons, which means you have to roll 2d6 because they're d6 shots. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But these are blasts, so that means if any of them roll under 3, they still get at least 3 shots out of them. So you're at least owed a minimum of 6 shots.
Okay, so I roll 2 dice, and then out of those 2 dice, how many shots I get, right?
Exactly.
Cool. I was wondering if I do that right. So roll 2 dice, select both, throw them in the chest of rolling. I
Okay.
get 3 shots.
So because of blast, though, both of those become 3, so you still get at least 6. That's basically how blast works. Because he has 6 or more models in a unit, blast goes off. If it's 6 or more models, each gun gets a minimum of 3 shots. If it's 11 or more, you get your maximum amount of shots, basically. So you would have
Got it.
literally 6 shots each, which could be extremely brutal. So you need to get 6 dice.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll grab 2, 4. Wait. 4. Then I roll it.
Yeah, and now what is your ballistic skill?
Oh. Let's see. Ballistics. BS or
BS. Yep.
3+.
3+. Excellent. So anything under a 3 fails. So of your 6 shots, you've rolled 1, 2. Yes.
Does the long range rule apply to?
No, there's no long range rule in kill team. So we're in like I'm sorry, 40k. In kill team, you get a -1 for being over a certain distance. That doesn't exist in 40k.
Okay, you hit 5 shots. That's A lot of shots.
Yep, so you hit 5 shots. So what's nice about this dice thing too is this side will delete any dice on that row. So if you just click it. Oh, you needed that one because you made that one. This one will, so if you go all the way to the 6 and right click.
Yes.
So this right here and right click, it actually highlights all the dice for you.
Oh, nice.
And then you just pick them up. And now your strength is 4. They are toughness 3. So because they have less toughness than your strength, what do you wound on? Do you remember?
I have this list pulled up thanks to Aaron. 3+.
3s, excellent, yes.
And then I select and I roll again.
Mm-hmm. So you get 3 wounds total. So now this would go to his saves. However, Termagants don't have a save because they have a 6-up save and you're -1 AP, so he just loses.
So that's 3 dead.
3 guys die, so you just take out 3 models. It's your choice of what 3 models.
Let's do these.
Sorry, it's
Dino's
choice. Dino's choice.
Yeah.
So which models.
Nice. This is fun.
And then that's it. That's how shooting works. What's nice about your army is everything hits on 3s. Everything shoots, so it's pretty easy to keep track of that. That's
Another question. This
Yes.
one is contested, so it goes to no one until there's only one in the point, right?
so. In 40k, it's first whoever has OBSEC. So you're both troop units, so you both have OBSEC, which means you would control the unit objective over anything else. After OBSEC, so it goes to number of models. So right now, because he has more models within 3 inches, it would be under his control. That, assuming he charges, that may change. It could be, because we're still not quite done with the phase yet. So that's your shooting. That's the only thing that can really shoot. So now you're going to go to your charge phase.
Okay.
So that will describe how the charge phase works. So in the charge phase, you pick a unit. So we'll say your players here. And you're going to decide what you want to charge. So you can say, this is going to be called declaring your chargers. So you could declare your troops against the Hormagaunts.
Yep.
Or you could declare your troops against the Hive Tyrant. Probably shouldn't do that, but it's something you can do. You could charge multiple things. You could charge both. That is something you could do.
Carry the Emperor's will as your torch.
Thank you for the vote. What you do need to know is that if you fail a charge roll against one unit, you fail against all the units. So let's say you tried to charge both the Hormagaunts and the Hive Tyrant, and I mean they're the same distance basically because of the difficult ground. But let's say you only need the 3 against these guys and the 5 against them. If you only rolled a 3, you'd still fail your charge because you declared the Hive Tyrant too. So you want to really be careful about what you decide to charge. So that's pretty much how the charge phase works. After you declare charges, your opponent has an opportunity to say if he wants to Overwatch or not. Those guys don't have guns. So there is no fallback like there is in Kill Team. There's no stratagem for that. So it's just really down to what he wants to do with his charge. So you can declare a charge.
I'm going to declare a charge on these gamers to these gamers.
Okay. Then you roll 2d6, and that's your distance.
Okay.
Excellent. So in 40k, all you have to end is within an inch. So when you do a charge, you only really have to end within an inch. So as long as a model's within an inch, that means you've made your charge. So you've gotten 8, you have got plenty of charge move. Now, here's another thing to think about, which is an option for Zig. There's something called Heroic Interventions. So at the end of your charge phase, if you had a character, like his Hive Tyrant, within 3 inches of the unit, and it does have to be exactly 3 inches, he could walk his Hive Tyrant into you at the end of your charge phase.
Oh!
So you definitely want to make sure.
No problem. The Hive Tyrant is charging you real soon, so not worry.
So you definitely want to make sure you don't get heroically intervened in when you don't mean to. So
No, but yeah, I mean it's fine this way. My next charge phase, I'm killing those players.
Yes, but that is better for him than losing them in his turn, basically. That's why you don't want to do that. So you probably want to move these guys more to here. So he doesn't have the opportunity to do that. The other thing to think about is... sorry, blank for a moment. When you're in the fight phase, a model has to be within an inch to make its attacks. And then the other models have to be within a half an inch. So if this guy's behind them, that's totally fine. He could still hit if this guy's within an inch. But he has to be within a half an inch of these models. So if you're doing like a line attacks, it matters more for you, Zig, because you have like more of a horde army. So you want to
pile in or no? Is the pile
yes, pile-ins will happen when you activate the unit. So after he charges, fight first, and then after charges, it's or fight first. It depends who has what rules. Then you activate unit after charges. Then they fight. They pile in, fight, consolidate. So they have a 3-inch move to pile in. Then they fight, then they have a 3-inch move consolidate afterwards too. So you can actually get a lot of movement out of charging and fighting. So you're happy with where you guys ended up?
Cool.
You can move them closer too. There's nothing wrong with
Oh, okay.
like you could
Legal?
just make sure you're not over on top of your bases. But you can be in an inch. Like you could be touching their base. There's nothing wrong with that. You just can't be on top of their base. So you could have like a guy like that, just like this, like right next to it, and that's fine. It's when you do charges, there's something called declaring that you're touching a base and or making sure your base is touching. Basically, that means the model who you've based can't move anymore in their fight phase, which is a way to restrict movement a little bit.
Got it. Cool.
All right. Excellent. So you made your charge. Really, that's the only one you can make because nothing can get to the Hive Tyrant. So then you go to the fight phase.
Okay. So let's read. I can only use either Harlequin's Kiss or...
So that squad, they only have Harlequin's Kisses, and in 40k now you have to use their melee weapons, so they have to use their Kiss.
Nice.
So,
I wanted to use it, so... Yeah.
When you click one, what it's showing you is actually the model's profile, not the unit. So each model has 4 attacks.
Oh.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
yeah, so in total, that means you've got 5 guys at 4 attacks. That means you're going to be rolling 20 dice.
Okay. So I press one on my character, and where does it say that on here? I'm just more curious.
That's under the unit profile. So if you look at your stats, under attacks, it shows 4.
Yeah. Wait, where?
Yep.
Yeah, unit attack. Oh, that's for melee attacks.
That's for melee attacks, exactly.
Got it. Thank you. I thought it was for other stuff. Ow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Dice?
That could be a lot. I just realized we might have missed something too. Hold on.
Oh, Frozen Stars gets +1A on the chart.
Oh, that's true. You are also Frozen Stars, so yeah, you get an additional 5 attacks for each model.
Okay.
So you actually got 25 attacks.
Yep. I have my 25 dice right here.
All right. So now, what is your weapon skill?
My weapon skill is a
2+.
It is a 3+, so you're in it on
3.
3. So you're gonna roll your dice, and you're looking for 3s. 3, 4, 5s, 6s. All right. So then all the 2s and 1s fail. So you go to this 2 button here, and you do. Yep, perfect. Now your strength 4. They are toughness 3.
Okay. So I have partial advantage, not like the full crazy advantage, which is 3+. Is that
Exactly.
hit?
So you need 3s again.
Oh, that's good.
That's not bad. All right. So these are AP1. So this is where it gets a little bit difficult, which I should have thought about this. So this is where it gets weird. Zig, you got Catalyst off, right?
Yes, it's not armor. It's
Yes. It's an ignore damage. So we actually now have to do this one at a time. Because these are D3 damage weapons. So
Okay.
So he has to roll his damage for one first, and then you have a chance to ignore that damage. And so a model could survive, and so that's why you have to do it one at a time. Cat first.
How many dice do I spawn?
Well, we have to do it one at a time. So Cat, you're gonna roll that for damage. So it does 3 damage. So now you have 3. You have to roll 3 dice, and you've ignored it once. You need to roll 2 more times because it's for the same model. Okay, so that one model would die anyway. You almost saved him. So far, one's died. Basically, what's happening is damage doesn't bleed. So in a unit, damage doesn't go, like, if you have D3 damage and do 3 damage, only one model takes that damage.
Okay.
So the reason why we have to do it this way is he has a chance to save each model every time you roll a damage roll. So you rolled.
You're just destroying my whole Gault unit if you charge.
So you roll the next damage. That would be a 1 because it's on the D3. So 1s and 2s is 1, 2s and 3s, 3s and 4s are 2. And so he doesn't ignore that damage. So we have another dead model. So next one is 1 again. So you save that model. So now we've only lost 2 models so far. So 3 damage on the next one.
This is fun. I'm gonna keep saying that, but I'm having a great time. Thank you.
Oh man, that was almost a very, very happy Harbiga, but he just barely lost. And then another one, and so you just keep doing this until all your damage rolls are done. Another 1.
Not a 1.
Nope, so another one dead. Oh, I got it. That's 2. So you roll 2 dice. It would die anyway. Alright. Another 1.
Not a 1.
Another 1. So another dead Harbiga. That's a 3. It's a dead Harbiga because you failed 1 already. Oh.
Not counting.
Another 1. I'm setting aside the dice for the deads.
Cool.
Alright, so another dead 1. Another 2.
All my models die.
Yeah, I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You'd have 1 left, so he would roll both damage, and you would have to save that many. So 4 total on the last.
What do you mean 4 total?
So he would have to. So he had 2 damage left. You would have 1 model left. And you would roll all of it, and then you would calculate how much damage total, and you would have to save that all to keep him alive. So yeah, that would wipe the squad out.
So I'm in melee. I'm really learning that.
Yeah, the dice has not been kind to me.
No, that was probably a little bit above average. You probably should have saved 1 or 2 of them from that squad. All right, that's it. Then your attacks are over. He would attack back if you have models left in combat, but he doesn't. You could move your models if you wanted to. They have a. You could move them 3 inches at the beginning, and then it has to be 3 inches towards the closest model. You probably don't want to do that.
Oh, I can't move them away. Darn.
No, you can't move away. It has to be towards the closest. So,
Oh,
yeah, there's no real reason to make it easier for him. So you pretty much would just end turn. You would do morale. So any units that lost models would have to do morale. However, he ignores that because of his synapse. So really, it just goes to his turn, and then at the beginning of your turn, you get points for how many primaries you're holding now. So how many are you holding? 1. So you would get 5 points. So we go to your scoreboard here, and then you just click the first one here. Up here, where it says Battleground 2. And you got your 5 points. And then Catbug, we didn't check if you were in 3 table quarters. You are not, actually. If you just had this guy over here, because you don't have anyone in this table quarter. So, slight mistakes, but we learned.
This table quarter? I think I wasn't paying attention. But
oh, it's fine. There's a lot. So, table quarters, that's the...
Score a lot of points because he holds 1, holds 2, and holds more.
But it's only in his turn he scores, so you have a chance to take him off stuff now. So he doesn't score in your command phase, only his command phase. Table quarters is for the engage in all front secondary. And you have to be in 3 table quarters to start scoring that.
Got it. Cool.
Now it's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn. So now your command phase, you get another command point. You're at 5 now if you really want to start spending them.
Yeah, I will. First, I will. Boop, boop, boop.
Oh, what are the actions you can take with command points, by the way? Where are those listed?
So when back to plugging, Wikipedia has all the stratagems. The core rulebook has 4 to 6. I think it's 6 stratagems that everyone can use. And then your codex will have a bunch of different stratagems.
A codex is a fashion-specific book.
Exactly. And then, unfortunately for you, since you're playing Harlequins, your actual other stratagems are in a book in a white dwarf called Phoenix. No, they're in a white dwarf. They came out in the white dwarf literally, I think, 2 years ago. And
I'm on the Wikipedia right now.
So if you ever wanted to bring Harlequins to a tournament, I don't know how to get that white dwarf.
Wait.
Just to let you know, Dino, you can't end your movement within an inch. So just make sure you're about an inch, and then it's an auto pass charge. I'm gonna be honest, you're probably gonna kill him in the psychic phase.
Yes.
So I would even see you might want to move
now psychic phase.
Dino. If you want to have that objective, you might want to think about moving it this way because there's a very good chance you smite them all to death, and then you'll be out of objective range.
Okay. I still have a little each more movement.
Yeah. Or you could even say, I'm not going to smite them all to death. I'm going to leave them alive just so I can charge.
Nah. Now is... because, like, I can move after I... Okay, so...
You cannot move again after the movement phase is done. Okay. You can only move for a charge.
Now it's psychic phase, where I will punch them to death. I will...
Did you want to keep these guys over here? I just wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no, I will move them. Like,
carry the Emperor's will as your torch.
Thank you for following. Just looking at chat for some of the things. The movement's done. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so now it's psychic phase, aka mind and death.
Yes. So again, you got your powers. You've got catalyst. You've got psychic stream. Sorry.
First thing I'm going to do is with the zone trope.
Mm-hmm.
He's casting smite.
Makes sense. So smite goes off on a 5. So you just roll 2d6, and you just need the 5.
I also have a special rule called Warp Blast.
Yes, he does. So when you manifest, right, the close unit within 18, basically when you get, you basically have a longer range smite.
It uses. I do not have enough stone tropes.
Basically, yeah, but you always get the long range smite. So your smite's 24 inches instead of 18 on this guy's.
Yes. I will CP roll.
Yeah. For CP rerolls, both dice. You would get it off anyway, but that's reroll the 3 just in case, because if he wants to deny that.
That is D3 mortal wounds to those guys.
Hold on. You need to reroll both dice, because when you do a CP reroll for psychic phases, both.
Roll a 6.
It could if he wants to deny, because you could have scored higher or lower.
Not in range.
Denies 24. So he has plenty of... I'm sorry, wait, don't deny 18.
You want to deny?
So he could try to deny it. It went off on a 9, so you've got pretty low chances of denying it. And he's got 2 other powers coming. So, Kat, did you want to deny it? What do you think?
Yes, please.
All right, so
actually, no, I can't. Cause can he cast it again?
He can cast it again with a different character. So you might want to try to go for a lower one. Or he might score like a better smite, so you don't. You kind of have to judge what you think is worth trying to deny. For these guys, they don't do the flat 3 until they're at 4 and more, I think.
Got it.
Yeah, it's D3.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm just gonna me
So
see.
let's see, physics is true.
Were you trying to deny there?
No, I wasn't. I'm
Okay.
So
just looking
I rolled
at
my damage.
Okay,
by-
okay.
how much health these guys have.
So you did, they're 1 wound each. He's done 2 mortal wounds, so you would lose 2 models.
Okay, cool.
They got
It's-
brain stuff.
Yes, they have now been exploded.
Now my Hive Tyrant. I think I'm just going to. Nah, let me think. I think I'm just going to smite them to death. Because let me see if what's
So-
worth doing.
You could realistically do that. You would then be on the equal amount of objectives, but then you would be putting yourself out of the objective for next turn. So just something to think about.
Okay, so I'm smiting the player again.
Okay. So it's now +1 to the cost, so it costs a 6, not a 5.
Oh yeah, I'm Psychic Scream.
Okay, excellent. That makes sense. Okay, so you should have smite. That would have been that would have been a super smite. You have
I'm just going to roll damage because he's in the 90s. I'm just going to roll damage.
yeah.
I'm kind of want to deny it just for.
Do you want to see if you can roll a double 6?
I kind of do. It sounds kind of fun.
All right,
See?
can he roll a double 6? No, it's not a double 6.
Darn. Just go to 6.
And they are all dead.
Yeah, that's 3 mortal wounds. You only got 3 left, so that would kill the squad.
Crap.
I'm Psychic. What was the thing?
So we're equal now. Woo.
Yep. So, you still have Catalyst on the Hive Tyrant if you want to cast that.
I'm actually casting Catalyst in the Flat Termagants.
Okay, awesome.
That is a 5, it's a buff.
All right, so you get it off. Their Catalyst. Usually you use a marker, so let's just. I don't think there is a field no pay marker. Just so we
Oh
remember
wait,
that.
dang it! I could have done that, but it was funnier for the meme, so that's good.
The meme rolls are always worth it, and if you had done it, it would have been a hero.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe witches can now get more attacks than Harlequins can. Don't quote me on that though.
Okay, so
Alright, so now you have shooting, which these guys, because you're touching this terrain and there's holes in it, you can definitely make a few shots in a few places.
yeah, I can only shoot those players.
Yeah. This is where it gets a little bit weird, because you do have... no, you should be good. Line of sight wise, you don't have anyone who will be going through dents, so you don't have to worry about the -1.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You just need to make sure you're within 12, because your gun's 12 inches, right?
Wait, what's this leadership thing that's right here?
That's just the mark that he got Catalyst off on them.
Ah, cool.
The two most forward ones can shoot, but not the others.
These two?
Yeah.
It has to be within, so even 12.7 would be a little bit over.
Okay, so yeah, they can shoot.
Yeah, so pretty much shooting's done again. Not a lot of shooting happening in this game.
Orally, but it's livered.
Which makes sense, because these are both really smacky armies. So,
So I'm Psychic Screaming again, like because I have one more cast in the.
he has 2 casts, so you did the Smite and the Catalyst, right?
Oh yeah, I did a Catalyst.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
should have done another Psychic.
And remember, you can only cast them once. Anyway, so you couldn't do Psychic Stream. You can only Psychic Stream once.
Got it.
Alright, I don't think you're in charge of anything, but I could be wrong on that.
I can charge actually. Should I risk it for a 12-inch charge?
Well, I mean, he can't really do anything. Yeah, I mean, he could Overwatch if you wanted to.
Have you
but, like,
Overwatch?
And you actually, because again, it's 12.4. If you would have to end in an inch, you can't actually end in an inch because it's over 12.
I'm just going to end my turn here because please God. Oh yeah, I'm not done.
No, you definitely put them there. You just don't have that one.
Yes.
All right. So if you're done, you pass turn. He's got no morale to take because you just wiped the squad out. And we go to his turn too. He holds 1.
Don't want to just stay here and stalemate. You hit me, I hit you. Oh, nice.
So I realized I forgot to do it. Sorry, Mouse. I forgot to do a turn summary last time. I'll do an end of turn summary, a quick one this one. Based on what you did, smited off Harlequin squad that was holding an objective. You got 5 points for your primary, kind of set up for the next turn. I will say, I think you probably should have not smited that squad to death and smacked them to death. That way you could have had everything on that objective.
Actually, is it like Q-Team that any part of the
No, for objectives it's base. So you have to be on the base.
in Q-Team it's any part of the model.
Didn't know that. Yeah, for 40k it's base, so you have to make sure your base is within it.
Yeah.
That would have been my recommendation, is keep them alive for the charge, because you would have killed them in the charge phase anyway, and they can't fight back. Or they could have fought back, but they probably wouldn't have been alive. And then you would have had more models on the objective you would have had to get rid of.
Yeah, and I would have but then he would have charged me, and
he's probably going to try to do that anyway, because of his movement.
Yes. I don't think he charged the Hive Tyrant, because like the Hive Tyrant has more wounds than your 2 leaders combined.
That's true.
And the Tyranid warriors have more wounds than your 2 Tyranid warriors have more wounds than your entire player squad together. So like,
yeah, that is true. You have a very tanky beast, and you have a lot of.
He wants to charge me.
You have a lot of scary psychic output, so he's got to figure out what to do about that. So yeah.
And if he charges me, and I'm also overwatching, because why not?
Yeah. Cat, it's now your turn. So what do you want to do? Are you command phase? You get your command point, so you're also back to 4.
I just question. Does carrying the war stacks?
Does it stack? No, it does not stack. Thankfully, because that'd be unbelievably busted.
Well, you have to see Custodes. You were talking about Custodes. You have to see Custodes in Q-Team. They bring 3 models.
Yeah, I also tried Custodes in Q-Team. It was quite fun. I quite enjoyed it. It was horrible. It was terrible, but it was quite fun.
I actually lost once to a Custodes team. I was bringing 11 Hormagons, and he kept rolling really well. And
all right, we are battle round, end of battle round. We're on Catbug start of battle round 2, which would be the last turn of battle round 2. Catbug, it's all you, man. Where you want to move? What do you want to do?
So first step is I score points, right?
Move.
Holding 1.
Yes, you do hold. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you score 5 points, so you would get your whole 1. So 5 points for that. And then you're not holding more. No one's holding 2, so it's up to you at that point.
Okay, I just want to make those straight. Okay, let me think.
Just be aware. Well, not worry about this time. That would count as movement to get them closer together like that. So be careful.
Sorry.
Charge my bus.
Okay. Does this count as being protected from the Zoomthropes?
Smite does need line of sight, so because they don't have line of sight, yes, you would be protected from them.
However, question.
Yes.
I'm taking this player here, by the way. They literally cannot hide behind us.
Hide behind what? Sorry.
This barricade.
No, this gives you like light cover, and actually defense line, it means within 2 inches you can attack. Defensible gives you like a little bit of bonuses in combat. It's not super amazing. It's like +1 to hit or something. You can choose +1 to hit, or like, I can't remember what the other one is. It's a little bit weird. Heavy cover is... Which one is heavy cover? Sorry, there's a lot of rules in there. You won't see barricades a lot, gonna be honest. A lot of people in TTS don't use them. But yeah, he could not hide behind them, basically. They're not obscuring. He couldn't just like hide behind them and can't get them. Yeah, so his Zoanthropes, he couldn't get you through that big old wall. However, if you're thinking about his movement and the fact there were 24-inch range smite and where his stuff is now, you're kind of in the position that if you don't start being a bit more aggressive, he's just going to come towards you.
Okay, so I'm going to do this right here and then charge.
Don't forget you can advance if you want.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Well,
Advanced. Sorry.
I find it really, but just talking to
Roll a
chat, I
dice.
find it really weird
Four
how
dice.
a random elder player, like a random Harlequin, has more attacks than a Custodes.
Vortex. Yeah,
Weird.
Custodes should really have more than what they do. It's very
And then
unfortunate.
I'll charge in a bit. I just want to get positioned. Then these vehicles, I'm gonna follow up as well and move these gamers right here.
Those gamers.
The fact you're calling them gamers both hurts me, but also works, and I don't like that it works.
I know, it's great.
It makes me
Okay, let me think.
I'm getting some more water. Do not kill my bugs while I get.
And
You're
then-
good. You're good. Now, don't forget, he's
Okay.
got the reroll wounds. Or if you have a big enough advance, he would ignore that terrain, so he could totally hop over it.
Okay, let's see. Put it in the dice thingy.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
a 6. Yeah, that's definitely enough. Okay.
Now, you probably don't want him there. Because, I mean, unless you want him to fight those warriors alone, which
Then
you...
I'm gonna bring this guy. What's my Shadow Seer's movement? 8 as well. So I'm gonna just get then aura like right here.
Okay.
I am.
And actually, hold up. Can I do something like this and then start psychicking this thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
You do have shadow in the water.
something. So I was at 6 inches right here.
No, that was 8 inches because you moved an extra 2.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, but that would
so-
work just fine where he is too. You wouldn't be in like
Yeah.
a terrible position.
I wanted to psychic this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are,
So-
I think they're 3 wounds each. So you wouldn't do much to them.
Yeah,
Got
but
it.
it's already declared. Yeah, it happens.
Wait, let me see what this thing
I'm
is that I
kidding, by
saw.
the way, you can absolutely take that.
I saw something kind of fun. Oh, if the psychic test was more than 10,
That's
yeah,
a super
that's
smite,
only
yeah.
smite. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna change phases. I always forget the next one. I accidentally switched the turn, so it's a little bit bugged out.
You're just ended movement, so now you're in psychic phase.
Okay, I'm gonna. Let me see what it's called. I'm gonna smite and then Twilight Pathways. My vehicles or my
Okay.
troop leader. So smite this guy. And then I roll 2d6, right?
-1.
-1, it'd be 2d6, but then -1 because he has Shadows of the Warp. Okay, so what you have done is a perils, which means you have to take the damage and your cast doesn't go off. A perils is basically your mind exploded trying to get the power off. So you can't spend a command point to re-roll it, which you probably want to do.
Okay.
Otherwise, you have to take D3 mortal wounds.
Oh, I'll use the hit point for reroll. Okay. I
We
click
all
the
look
roll button.
forward.
Let me throw it in the roll box.
Alright, so you got a 7, but it's -1 because of Shadows of the Warp, so you were trying to smite, right?
I am absolutely denying that.
Yep, so now he has a chance to deny it because he has 2 denies, so
No,
he just...
actually, I'm going to wait for my deny.
Okay, he only has 2 casts, and you have 2 denies.
Yeah, I do not want. Oh yeah, I have 2 denies actually.
Yeah,
I
mhm.
have 2 denies. BP.
Alright, so you got your 2 dice. And a 6 is equal but not over, right? Because he also got a 6.
Why you roll again?
If you wanted to spend a CP to reroll your deny, you could. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. First dice is a.
Remember, it has to be both dice, though.
No, yeah, I'm just rolling one per time.
Yep, so you got a 4 and 1, and then just roll the other real quick.
I just.
If 4 and a 4, you got an 8, you definitely deny it.
Cool. Now I'm gonna psychic whatever the Twilight Mastery thing is on my troop leader.
To
And-
move him again?
Yes.
Alright. That
Just
needs...
move him.
Remember, you have to cast it.
Oh yeah. I always
Oh.
forget.
I'm moving back real quick. Here's 7.
Thank you.
There you go.
I'm not blue. I'm red. Okay, throw that in there.
Goes off
Save.
on an 8 minus 9 minus 1, so it's an 8, yep.
I will try to deny that because why not?
It's tied, so he would get it off, and you use the reroll already this turn. So he can move.
I'm gonna move behind this wall.
Alrighty.
And then I'm gonna shoot.
Oh, not shooting yet.
Oh, okay.
That's your psychic phase done, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm checking out what my abilities are on this guy.
Did you advance the Troop Master? I can't remember.
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Can chat remember? Because I'm really bad at remembering.
Hold on, let's see. No, you would have not. Oh, no, you did, because you got the 6.
Got it, thank you.
Yeah, you got the 6.
Okay, cool. So then I'll just charge with this. Now I'm gonna chill him here, and then I'll charge with these guys.
Did you advance? Well, don't forget, you still have your bikes if you wanted to shoot them.
Oh yeah, I do. I can shoot with 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try not to give too much help. I'll try not to get.
Actually, I can shoot at these guys.
Okay, yeah. Say, please, you're about to charge 3 things into those poor little men, and you really don't need to shoot at them.
You can shoot me and shooting you back, by the way.
So I can shoot these guys.
There is no return fire in 40k. It's just
No,
alternating.
yeah, in my turn, if you shoot me, I'm shooting you back.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's probably what should happen.
Yeah.
Really, I feel like you're just gonna mind explode his whole army at this rate.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay. Now, I always forget damage, so let me remember this. So, for my haywire cannon, it's 24 inches, which is good.
Yep.
Assault d6. So what that means is I roll 2d6, and that's how many hits I get. Right?
Exactly, and you don't get the automatic 3 this time for blast because he only has 3 models in that unit. So what you roll is what you get.
Ooh.
I mean, you did get 10, so that whatever, whatever I said doesn't matter. But you know,
I get 10 dice.
so you get 10 dice. Yeah, there's just a button for 10 dice. It's a lot easier, and I'll just take these off real quick.
Cool. Then I'll roll. It's a.
Okay, well, you've hit with everything.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, because you don't have a minus. I'm just making sure that barricade is.
Me.
Yeah, the barricade's not dense. So, yep. You are T4. He's T4 though, and those are only strength 4. So now you need how much to wound?
4.
4.
Fours. Excellent. Good job.
Well,
You have to roll the wound rolls first. So you roll the wound rolls because those are your hit rolls.
Oh, now.
I said now you remove the 3s and 2s. That was still a disgustingly good roll. All right. That said, you should have a save on these guys. Yeah, because you got a 4 up base. It's only -1. Actually, are you with?
-1. I was looking at. So it's a 5 plus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 5 pluses.
Yep. And they're only 1 damage too.
Then I just remove 2. 5 pluses.
Oh, that's pretty good actually. So you've taken 3 damage. So these are just 1 damage each. So 1 guy would die, right? Because they're 3 wounds each. And then 1 would take a wound.
Could have been worse.
Oh, you know what? That should have been minus the hit. Because doesn't your... Hold on, I want to say your Hive Tyrant has something.
No, he doesn't.
It's not the Hive Tyrant? Is it the Zoanthropes? Because we may have to redo that. I apologize. Oh no, I thought you had like the shadow thingy. Maybe I'm wrong. I apologize. There is like a -1 to hit in for Tyranids. I can't remember what it's called though. Maybe that's on the other thrope. Someone in chat will tell me what that is, but it is a thing. Alright, so that's shooting. I guess you could shoot your Shadow Seer for once if you want to do.
What?
Your Shadows. Yes, your Shadow Seer does have a grenade launcher.
Let's do it.
It's assault 1, so you fire 1 shot. This is kind of a weird thing. So you fire 1 shot, he hits on A2.
Okay. So. Oh wait, I forgot to place it in the box.
Alright, so he hits, but now this is where it's weird. So that weapon's a weird one. That one you have to roll 2d6, and if it's higher than the leadership of those gaunts, then you do d3 mortal wounds. So it's a 10. Synapse is just an auto pass, right? It's not like he gets... Yeah. Okay. So...
Infinite leadership.
Yeah, I think it's a leadership 6, right? Yeah, so it does. You do roll higher, so you roll D3 mortals now. So you roll no, just 1d6, and we'll do it as a d3. So 1s and 2s are 1, so it's 3 mortal wounds. However, mortal wounds can be stopped by your catalyst.
Oh yeah.
Because you ignore damage, and that's damage. So you roll 3 dice, and any 5s would be a saved model. And 1 more dice. You're good, Cat. You don't need to roll anything.
Okay, good.
Oh no.
It just doesn't want to pick up that last dice. Oh! Okay, well, 2 gods are fine. 2 gods are just like, whatever. You tried to mind blast up, but we're already mindless, so it doesn't matter.
Nice.
Okay, so now charge phase where stuff gets funky.
Yes. So now you get to charge.
Okay, so I roll a d6 for distance, right?
First you declare. So you want your players into the Termagants.
Actually, hold up. Can I charge all the way over here?
You could charge over there, absolutely. You would need at least I would say at least an 8.
Yeah, that's impossible. So I'm gonna go for the Termagants then.
They are overwatching.
Yep. So you spend 1 CP per over. So what Overwatch is basically he gets a chance to shoot. He only when you Overwatch, you only hit on 6s though. So you roll for how many he can see. Everyone can see.
2, 3, 4, 6.
Yeah, I think
I'm also using lightning fast reactions.
I'm not getting any 6s. Yeah.
lightning fast is only for when he's shooting at you, and that's another one of the base core strategies for avoiding.
If I win, you can say.
So you don't want to Overwatch?
I already overwatched it and missed.
Oh, you didn't get any 6s. Oh, okay.
All
right.
I win, it's not because of dice.
All right, so now you just roll your charge range. It looks like from where you are, it's like you need to just not roll a double 1.
No. Oh,
you're gonna need 1 more dice. 1 more dice. Yeah, you're fine. You're 6-inch.
So I'm gonna see how this looks. So that's
Yeah, those Termagants are getting 1.
Now, what's weird is when you spin it, it actually doesn't count the movement of your spin, so you may have to go back and check where guys were.
Oh, this guy is perfect. I made sure to spin it the other way, so.
Oh yeah, then that would actually with your movement would work. Yep.
And then I'm gonna move. Oh wait, I selected the army still. I'm gonna move this one right here, this one right here, this one right here.
Yep,
right
that's
here,
perks perfectly fine.
This one right here. Cool. Now
Thanks.
I'm gonna stab these guys.
Man, I think the red dice are cursed. My luck with the red dice has been way worse than the blue dice, but maybe they're all cursed. So yeah.
I roll
Okay, so now
What?
20 dice.
Do you not want to charge in your troop master too?
No, because I would just get mind blasted. Actually, I'm gonna try it for these guys.
Yeah, they are out of 12, so there's no way you could make that charge.
Oh, dang.
Remember, mind blasting for at least Smite and Psychic Scream is nearest model, so it has to go to the troops first.
Yeah.
You don't have to charge. I'm just like, no.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna charge.
Okay.
1 centimeter. I'll move it back.
You're good.
Yeah.
You are touching terrain, so he can see through that, though. Just letting you know.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So, yeah. You. What was your question, Zeke? I'm sorry. Dino.
Oh, yeah. No. Question was just. I was thinking. I think. How many turns does this have?
5 turns.
Okay, so I think we're going to get boarded before I have to worry about points.
Yeah, one player is probably going to be dead before the other. That usually happens at 500 points. So we'll see. You could have an amazing psychic phase, and like that would just absolutely ruin him. Or yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But it's important to know, though. I don't know if it's in Kill Team. In 40k, you can get tabled and still win a game. as long as you score more points by the time the game ends, you could still win. It's hard, but there are some armies who are basically designed around, I'm going to flood the board, I'm going to deny as much as I can, I'll get tabled by turn 3, but they can't score enough.
You mean like units?
Yeah, even without units, even with nothing on the board, as long as you've scored more by the end of turn 5, you can still win the game.
That unit is a unit that has not that has failed. Unit has failed in life.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like it's something Tyranids would do, but technically it is something.
Big thing.
Alright, so you've got your guys in, your frozen stars. So how many attacks are they?
25, and those gaunts just die.
Yeah, those gods are probably dead. He could honestly whiff. It is a thing because he can't reroll his hit rolls.
It's 25 hit rolls.
These are only 1 damage. So you would still, for Synapse, it's a lot easier for Catalyst. So, Cat, you got 5 attacks per dude, so you got 25 attacks.
Okay. This is gonna be fun.
These are hitting on what the usual are. Okay, he didn't fail the hit roll, so yeah, it's looking pretty bad. That's supposed to be a 4. Yeah, that's looking pretty bad. I mean, 3s would still hit because you're plus weapon skill 3.
Okay.
Yeah, the
grab these threes.
dice just hit me.
And then your strength 4, so you're strength 5 on these, so you're wounding on 3 still. What your troop master's in range, so you actually re-roll those wounds.
If I want to? Oh, these ones.
Yeah, the failed wounds because your troop master's in range, so you get to re-roll those.
I'm learning more.
Yeah.
I think you guys. Yeah, I'm having fun.
So you need to roll like 13 5-ups. 6.
No, actually, I have 6 pluses first because
They are AP2.
Right.
So, it's all on Catalyst now. You need Catalyst to work for you really well.
How many do I roll?
There was 18. You've got 5 guys left, is that right? 6 guys left. So as long as you roll 13 5-ups, they'll live. Wow! How many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It was a valiant effort, but it's just slightly off.
Can I reroll some dice? Or it's just I have to reroll them.
Fortunately, you cannot reroll more than once a turn. You can't reroll feel no pains, unfortunately. You can only ignore reroll saves.
But yeah, the dice are not my friend.
No, not in that case. He did not fail as many as you needed him to, so that would wipe the squad. And then there'd be no morale again. He could move closer to you if you wanted to. I don't think that's what he wants to do.
Well, yeah, move closer by all means. Go on. Yeah, no, move closer. Yeah, move closer.
And so that leads you to the end of your turn, Cat. So at the end of your turn, you're still not. You keep forgetting about the table quarters, so you don't have anything for engage.
Dang it.
And then, yeah, it just goes. There's no morale because only one thing died from them, and he has Synapse, and you haven't lost anything. So it is now up to Zig's turn 3. So this would be turn 3.
Shot me.
So
Let's
for
see.
movement, it's actually important. It is actually really important now.
And you guys pretty much learned 40k at this point. This is pretty much it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, there's a lot more like special army rules or rerolls and stratagems, but like in terms of the
So
base,
I can like ping a mentor and play whenever, basically.
yes,
When they're available.
Yeah.
when they're available, and then just make sure you have an army list.
Okay. Could I bother you, Grandalf, about army stuff? 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm so
absolutely.
lost on that, and like, yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you can bother me about it. There is actually a section on the Discord for learning to
Yeah.
play, and if you just hit that up, people answer you anytime.
Cool.
But yeah.
I basically ran the hell away. Want to mine.
Running away. Basically, we're actually tied on points as well. So, because you got another 5 points that turn, you're actually ahead
Wait,
this
you're
turn.
running away? Can you just kill me?
Now
So-
the mine is the mind blast phase.
Yeah, I gave you the 5 points because you forgot to give it to yourself for that turn.
I'm first psychic screaming with the Hive Tyrant.
All right, sounds good. You're running away. I did not expect that. I actually,
It's the most sensible thing to do.
you know, it may not be wrong. You may be absolutely right though. I have no idea. Okay, that's a psychic scream.
That's an overcharge, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, that was psychic scream, not smite, right?
Yeah, it was Psychic Extreme.
That is the second time you have rolled a super smite with psychic scream. Because you do take the damage, but the power would still go off because you can't die. So you take one mortal wound, so he's fine.
Hooray, one player. Woo! One
Oh,
player.
you rolled your damage. You can. I'd assume you rolled the damage on yourself first.
No, I do not roll damage on myself. It's was a
Double sixes is also a perils. So you would get the power off, but it's also a perils.
yeah, one damage to me.
So one damage to you, and then you roll the damage on the troops.
It's 11 out of 10 wounds.
Yeah, you're. There is a way to change it. Actually, it's the first time we get to do this. If you use the numpad plus and minus button, I believe. Hold on, there is a way to do it. It's one of the
I
numpads.
rolled 5, so it's 3 wounds onto the players.
Yes, nice. So 3 players are dead. There is a way to do it with the numpad to take the wounds down, but you can also just edit that little document.
Now smiting with. Let me see something.
Smite's also closest, so it still needs to be the troops until they're gone.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I'm just calculating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And don't forget your zone throws up a 24-inch range.
Yeah, so first I'm doing the Hive Tyrant, so I can zone choke the nearest one.
All right, absolutely.
On smite, so on a 5.
Who has the perils on any doubles? I think that's a relic. Yeah,
I'm on a 7. Do you wanna? I think.
he can deny. Do you want to try to deny? That's fine.
I'm gonna deny it 100%.
Oh, he's confident. He is super confident. You should have.
Let's go! Let's go! It's 2. We're 3.
You can't complain about dice, not with me.
Okay, that is all the troops dead. That was another 3.
Okay, so now I am smiting my zone tropes.
Yep, so you just need to see what's closest now. So he's within 18. So the trick master is definitely closest. So just remember that now, because this is the second smite, you need a 6.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get a 6. I dice, please not double ones, please.
It's pretty good. Still 9. He's out of denies, so you just roll your D3.
Yes. Actually, it was above 10. Let me check.
It's above 10 for super smite. So
It was above.
Yeah.
It was. Oh yeah, it wasn't above 10.
Yeah, it was 9. Yep.
Yeah. So just basic playing the 3 mortal wounds.
So,
the only thing I ever done damage with is.
it works though. Psychically killing people. So your guy has 5 wounds. He's taken 2. So what you could do is you could actually right click. There's a way to do it with the numpad. Someone in chat can tell me. I keep forgetting how to do it. But you right click and you can go to the 5 and then just erase the 5 out of 5 and say he's out 3 out of 5. And then that's how you can track how many wounds he has. So if you hover over him now, you'll see that I changed his wounds for 3.
Rest of me, that's exactly what I'm doing. It's a tactical retreat so I can hold their minds from across the map.
That's how you do it.
Now,
Yeah, wounds up and down. If anyone remembers how to do that, I can't remember. Is it number pad 1 and 2? Let's find out. It is number pad 1 and 2. 2 and 3. 3 goes up, 2 goes down. That's what
yes.
this.
Okay, now into my shooting phase.
Yes.
Nothing else to do. I'm shooting with my 2 Tyranids warriors into your shadow.
Yeah, and let's see.
Actually, are you shooting my Skyweavers or
Shadow Seal?
The Shadow's here because he is closer than the Skyweavers, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay, yeah.
Should be targetable.
Does my Shadow Weavers have anything fun I can do with it super quick? Shield from harm.
That's just automatic, so you have that automatically.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be able to kill them with those 2. Hopefully, we'll see.
No. I know what you want. I am almost 100% sure it wants. So it's 6 shots.
Yep, you got 2 guys, so 3 shots each. They're
force. No,
Pick your-
actually, force.
you're rerolling once the wound, I believe, based on your Hive Tyrant.
Yes. Okay, okay. That's 2 hits. That's solid. Okay, 3 hits. Solid.
All right, 3 hits. And then he is T3, but because of Shield from Harm, he's -1 the wound. So even though you're strength 4, you're now having the wound on 4s because of that -1 the wound.
Okay, that is 3 wounds. No, actually, it was a 4. Yeah, it's a 4.
4 wounds, yep. So you got 4 wounds out of that. All right, so now you get the roll saves. So Bug, you need over 4 up to save. So it's only 1 damage.
I forgot to damage.
So how do I?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that your? I apologize, Dino. Was that your wound roll that you just did? I apologize. Okay. 2 wounds. Okay, so now you need to save 2 times. Your save is just a 4-up invuln for your army. So you need to roll 2 dice, and every time you roll a 4-up, you save it. Anything under than the 4 is a fail. So you failed once.
1 wound.
1 wound. So you go over your shadows here, click, and you could actually just do number pad 1.
Oh.
And he.
Sure.
When did? Yeah, he should be at 4 because he only took 1 damage.
Okay.
Why is that 3?
Yeah, I don't remember. I think we put more damage on him than we were supposed to. I don't know when that happened.
Okay, so now it's. Do I have anything else?
Aggressive, that's a good point. There's not enough shadows here to screen. You need at least 3 shadow weavers. Sky weavers to screen your shadows here anyway, because it's only a 2-man unit. Alright.
I think that's it. This is actually more tense than I thought it would be.
Yeah, this could be very close to the wire. This would be very interesting.
Now I lose. I know exactly how I lose.
I don't know, because he's not got a lot left. And those zoan throw.
I know how exactly it's going to happen.
Wait,
but
question.
The how can I say?
So
the dice has not been kind to me, and I think I lose because of that.
I don't know, because the Skyweavers... Well, we'll see. Basically, a quick turn summary of what just happened. You smited out a whole troop squad, and then did 1 wound to the Shadows here in shooting. It is now Catbug's turn. Catbug, what's your question?
Skyweaver boys, can I just, what does Blast do again? It sounds random, but...
Blast...
is Blast trigger. Sorry, that's...
Blast needs more than 6 models in a unit, so there's nothing left for Blast to go off on.
Okay. Cool, that's good to know. I'm gonna, let me see, can I move 17 movement with my troop leader this turn?
So you can't move 17, but remember you only need to be within 12 to try to attempt to charge.
Got it. So can I move 12? So I have 8, and I just need to roll a 4. I'm gonna roll 1 dice just to see my luck, and then I'll actually do my roll. Okay, I am lucky. Let's see. So I'm gonna move 8.
What do you need, by the way? Sure.
He needs, he just wants to try to get closer. They do not have guns, so if you want to just get closer straight, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that then. Okay.
So you would be like right there, yep.
Yeah. Cool. And then roll a dice.
Another 4. Okay, so you're extra 4 inches. So you need about, if you're gonna charge from there, it's about a 7-inch charge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually 8 because the.
And can I reroll charge dice?
You can reroll charge dice, yes.
Cool. I'm gonna then move these dudes. Do these guys have train movement or no?
They also have fly, so they get to ignore terrain.
Okay, so I'm gonna fly these guys right here. That's a little janky. Just so I can.
You're good.
Oh, it's 14. And I'm gonna fire there, and then my shadow guy.
Well, don't forget, those guys have a 16-inch move, so they can go wherever they want.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move here just to get those guys in range, and then.
So just to be aware, shield from harm only affects troop units, so foot units. So basically, it would have been himself and the Harlequin troop master. All you got left.
Okay. Okay. Can I move this back then?
Yeah.
So I was like here, and then let's see. 7, 8, right here, and then I'm gonna charge it, or I'm gonna roll my dice and see if I can get a little closer, just in case.
He's feeling motivated. That is a motivated man.
And I'm gonna move right behind.
So just to give you some advice, because you're in the situation that you are, and you're putting them there, you're at the point where if you don't charge them both in and give yourself the most optimal charge, they're gonna die next turn anyway.
Oh wait, does this guy have melee?
He does have a little bit of melee, not amazing.
Yeah, let's do
He's
it.
bad at melee.
Yeah.
Like,
So you
So
moved
then-
about 4 from here, so move back 4 to here where my cursor is,
Got it. Thank you.
and then move the 6 straight towards them because, yeah, you're you're gonna need everything you can at this point, my friend.
Okay. Now, then I'm gonna also move these guys a little bit better, so I'm like right here.
Okay,
So I
yeah,
can also attack this guy if needed.
they moved 12, so
and-
they had about 4 inches, so you're good.
Cool. Now. Okay, next phase. Oh, it's not my turn. Next phase.
We
is...
did not. Yes, you did score. You held 1, so you got your 5 points. So we're still tied. We're 20-20 currently.
Okay. So then right click, I think.
My turn technically.
Okay, command. Movement.
Psychic now.
Okay, I'm gonna telepathetically attack the Hive Tyrant.
You got to see what's closest because
Oh yeah.
I think
Let's
shards and the other one are both closest. Let me check shards real quick. Shards is
5.8. and
shards is not. Shards you could choose. Shards of light is a choice.
Cool. I'm gonna Shards of Light the big beefy boy.
Okay.
And
So- It goes off on a 7, so you need to roll your 2d6 and see if you can score a 7. But you're at -1, so you need at least an 8. You got it then. It goes off on a 9. If you want to deny, you can. It's only D3 mortals and -1 to your leadership.
No, it's fine. I do not like it's bad because I do not use.
Yeah.
Then he rolled a 3 in the dice and it makes me sad, but you know.
Okay.
let's see. How much? I
2.
do 2 damage. Then I'm gonna
So
do
your
my other
Hive
stuff. I'm
Tyrant's
gonna
at
do a
9.
smite. Yeah. I'll do a smite then.
Okay, and that's
On
yeah,
the
it has to go to
zoanthropes?
the zoanthropes. Yep.
And it's 2 dice again.
2 dice, it needs at least a 6 because you're at -1. Goes off
got
on a
it.
7, so you want to deny Zig?
9 on 7.
Yeah, so you just need you need to roll over. You rolled over.
Yep.
So it's denied.
Cool. Then
I think.
shooting.
Yep, just shooting.
Shoot with my 2 of these guys. So I roll 2d6.
Yep,
My assault roll.
absolutely. And y'all don't even need me here.
Then I roll a 10, so I get 10 dice.
Yep.
10 dice, and then I roll them. Yes. Okay. And what do I need to hit higher? That's my question.
You have to hit on 3s because there's nothing blocking you, not on the minus. So all those 2s and that 1 failed.
Delete, delete. Oh. Was that okay? Or
Yep, nope, that's perfect.
Okay.
And now they are
And-
toughness 4. You are strike 4, so you need
4.
excellent 4s, yes.
Okay.
So
And-
2 wounds.
2 wounds. Now I have my save. It's a.
Oh, you rolled too many dice.
Oh, it was 3 that passed.
Yeah, there was only 2 wounds. So you only need to roll 2 dice.
Move 5 pluses.
Yep, 2 5 pluses. You got 1, failed 1. So you lose 1 wound, so that one guy's down to 1.
Cool. Then it'll be my charge phase.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take out the charge. I roll 2d6, right?
Charge, you roll 2d6. First, you gotta declare what's charging first in case well, the Zone Throats can't Overwatch or the Hive Tyrant, but
Yeah.
if you wanted to do with the
Zoanthropes.
other guys, you could.
Zoanthropes, with both my Shadow Sphere and my Troop Master.
Do each time you need 6 for the Shadow Seer.
Yep.
And you need 7 for the Troop Master.
For the Shadows here, remember it's within an inch, so he only uses a 5 with the Shadows here. Because he just needs to be within an inch of your base.
Need 6 for.
You do need at least a 7 with your Troop Master over.
So rolling 1. This will be my Troop Master.
He does not make it.
He does not make it. Do you want to spend a CP?
Yes, this is my last chance.
Yeah, alright. Reroll it. Come on, boy. Oh, it's twice!
Yes!
GG.
Alright, well, Shadow's here. Try the Shadow's here, I guess.
Let's see. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I think they should.
Oh, no! It's not who you needed to do that at all!
This is great. Should have done the opposite.
Then
So
I
I'm gonna
make the
run, like right here.
Yeah, you
Shank
could
him
jump
in the
over
back.
models, so you're good. Absolutely, that works.
My only complaint is that my Twitch bugged, so I could not see the chat.
Oh,
That's my only complaint about this whole situation. I could not see the chat. Yeah.
and then, do you want to charge in your bikes?
Yes, actually.
All right.
I Overwatch.
All right, you're gonna Overwatch. Sounds good. So you got 6 shots to do them. Need 6s. Oh, that's so tragic, that True Master.
I know.
That is one of the most incompatible Troop Masters I've ever seen.
2 hits. Nice. He's T4. So yeah, so you got 2 hits, and he's T4, and you're Strength 4, I believe. Let me double check that though. So you need 4 to win, my friend.
First dice is not a wound. Second dice is not a wound. I will CP roll that because I think I can.
You can reroll one of them. Either way, they're both 6s, so one of them wins. So you need 1 save on a 4-up for your bikes.
Okay.
Nope. So one of them takes a damage, so it's down to. They're just 1 damage, right?
Okay, so I press.
Yes. So you're down
What do I
to.
press again?
It is gonna. Oh, wrong one. It's 2 or 3. 2 goes down.
Oh, that guy's dead now.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
All right. So I don't know what you need for them, but roll your charge, and we'll see if they get in there.
Let's see.
Needs at least a 4.
Charge. If they do not get a double one, they make it.
1. I got a 4.
Okay.
and
6.
then a 6.
6 will do it.
Let's see. I'm just doing each die. 1. Okay, thank goodness.
Oh no, you roll for the whole unit, so they make it. So you're good.
Okay, good. Okay, now I'm
So
gonna
they're right here.
swing.
Yep. Back. Up.
I'm gonna melee these guys to death. Now it's time to do melee damage.
So this is important. So let's talk core stratagem real quick. So there is a core stratagem to interrupt, to fight out of order. So basically, chargers get priority, so that all chargers would fight first. If he wants to spend 2 CP, he could choose to activate a unit and fight with them. So
How many CP do I have left?
you should have more than enough to do 2 CP interrupt. Let's see. You haven't really spent any. I think you spent 1 that we didn't do, so you have like 5. So yeah,
With my twin warriors.
you have to wait till after he chooses to attack you first, and then you can interrupt. So, Kat, now you have to decide what you want to fight with first.
I want to fight with. This is just a pitiful attempt to kill his Zoonthropes because he can just mind blast me. So let's kill the Zoonthropes.
Well, he can't mind blast you to his turn, so you want to think about what he's going to interrupt with.
Oh, true. Then I'm gonna do my Skyweavers.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm interrupting that. I'm using 2 CP to attack.
All right. So if they live, then he gets interrupt. So what you need to do is Sky Weavers are how many attacks each?
Let me
Don't I
read
attack
them.
first because I am a
They
king?
are
Don't I attack first because of my thing?
Which
3
thing?
attacks.
Which thing? Hold on, I might have missed an ability. The interrupt happens, so it would be charge. You would spend the CP and then interrupt. So the charger still gets to go first.
Then I do not.
And I have a hollow suit, so
First,
I have
yeah.
a 4+ and are vulnerable.
You're not gonna do okay. So
But
you charged, so you get +1 to your attack, right?
yes,
Then you have how many attacks per model?
I'll have 4 total,
4.
not including the frozen.
I'm going to the bathroom.
Okay, 4 per model, so you have 8 total.
Cool. So
So we'll wait till he comes back real quick from the restroom before you roll the. You can roll the hits and
I'm
wounds,
just
I
gonna
guess.
get the dice.
You can roll the hits and wounds. Nothing's gonna change that.
Okay.
All right, so you failed 2,
Yep.
and you're only strength 4 on these bikes. So strength 4 against toughness 4. So what are you winning on?
Equal. So
Mhm.
it's 4.
Excellent.
Then
All right, so it's pretty good. You got about 4 wounds. So when he comes back, he'll have to make 4 saves of a 6 up because they're AP2.
ooh, fun.
That might have saved you.
Nah, Nice, let's go.
That roll might have saved you, because usually when I play Skyweavers, they whiff awfully. Just the worst rolls. That's... Oh, man. So how you liking your first game?
Holy, this feels like I've never played a war game before,
Uh-huh.
and I hate RTSs, but this is fun. This is unironically like the most fun I've had with anything similar to an RTS. So
Awesome.
I'm definitely gonna play this more.
Super glad. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it.
I just am confused on how to make a list, like
I'm back.
entirely. So yeah.
What did I miss?
He got 4 wounds. He rolled his hits. He failed 2. He failed 2 more wounds. So you got 4 saves to make. These are at AP2, so you got your 6 up saves.
Which I will make none. Yes,
They are 2 damage each, so that would wipe out your squad.
no, because they are not within 1 inch of.
He's within half an inch and an inch, so he doesn't have the damage doesn't spread, but because 2 would go on the one and then 2 onto the other, so you would do 4 damage to one, 4 damage to the other. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So
It's my funky stuff.
if you want to interrupt with your zone throws, you could. Honestly, I don't think you're gonna lose any.
Yeah. Zone tropes are tough. They're like they seem so squishy, but they actually have lots of success and 3 wounds.
And they have a
And-
3-up invul for some reason, which very much confuses me.
It's because of their psychic barrier.
Yeah.
The big thing in lore is that they can 1v1 space more
Yeah.
because the bolted rounds get stuck in a psychic field.
Okay.
Alright, so your Shadows here. Charged. How many attacks does he have?
Let me see. So I get +1 because of my mask,
Mm-hmm.
and now I have let me see again. I have drumroll. No, I'm kidding. I'm really bad at looking.
You're good.
Oh,
It
there
takes
it
a
is.
minute.
I have 3 attacks, so 4 total.
4 total,
Man.
and these are at Strength 5, AP 1. So what is the zone throw? Are they T3 or T4? Oh, they're T4. Nice. All right. So you're hitting on 2s because you're a character. So he's a little bit better at smacking things.
So I get 4 dice.
4 dice, hitting on 2s, no rerolls. Awesome. So
I'll
okay.
hit.
And then you're wounding on 3s because you're Strength 5.
Yep.
So you fail 2.
Nice.
Now I have 1,000 saves.
And they have,
If I make any of the saves, I will be sad.
you do have 3-up invulns, so
Plus,
you're good.
Make it.
And you're good. You have to choose between. That's a good point. You have to choose between taking an armor save or an invuln save. There is a strategic reason to take a worse save. You're not going to do it often.
Okay.
So nothing went through. Now you get to smack the Shadows here.
Yes, but I want to do a lot of things. 3 claws and teeth.
Yes.
Or maybe 1. They're just biting you.
Yeah, basically they're just smacking with his feet. You got 3 attacks. They're 1 attack each.
Oh, can I psychic in melee?
Yes, you can. In fact, you will have to, because if you back out, you cannot psychic if you fall back.
1, 2. I use 2 hits. What's your toughness?
He's only toughness 3, but that -1 wound stays. So here, what's your strength? So your strength 4, it looks like. So you're wounding on 4s again.
Cool.
Well, zone troops are so
Sometimes 2 wounds. So you've got 2 saves. You've got a 4-up invuln. So let's see if you're lucky.
Man, zone troops are. I think they are my favorite unit.
Oh!
He lives. Well, he lives for now. There's a lot of mind bullets about to come to his face. But yeah. All right. But you did do something really smart, because now it's the end of your turn. You've actually killed those warriors, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you're actually taking them off all the objectives. So you now are in a pretty...
I'm being very honest. I do not think the objective is going to matter.
Yeah, It might matter in the long run if you can't kill the Troop Master. If you can't kill the Troop Master, that might be big. If you can't kill the Troop Master, then yeah, it's not going to go well.
My turn, right?
Yeah, it's your turn now. You don't score anything because you don't have any objectives. So you need to...
I'm going to move my Hive Tyrant.
Yeah, and this is the beginning, I believe, of turn 4. Are we at turn 4? We are at turn 4.
Boop. Just Hive Tyrant over here.
We're in the...
Also, we are tied, right?
He is now in the lead because... Well, he might be in the lead at his turn. It depends if he lives or not.
Yeah, but right now we are tied, right?
Right now you are tied. Yes, correct.
Okay, so I'm moving my giant fat guy here. So now psychic phase. Now that's where the fun stuff happens.
Hey.
Because I'm smiting the shadows here.
All right, that's smiting to the shadows here.
I just die.
But let me do something.
But wait, no, I have 4 mortal wounds, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, this might be a bit tricky because you gotta figure out really what you want to spec, and don't forget that the minus of your movement in that terrain there. So that could be really
yeah. So from here, and then I'm smiting him with the Hive Tyrant first.
All right, starting with the Hive Tyrant. Sounds good.
Now, please, for the God of the Hive Mind person.
You know, I think we've been forgetting about the second part of Psychic Stream too. Oh, that's finally a super fight. So,
I take
basically you're gonna have to attempt to deny this on a double 6. If not, you're going to take D6 mortal wounds.
The Hive Mind shines.
I have another deny this turn.
You only have one deny.
Okay,
But if he kills that model, then you're out of denies.
Okay, so I literally have to.
You basically have to. No.
No, sad. Cap.
Okay, so this 6 mortals.
Actually, it was 6. No, I'm kidding.
So how many mortals you need? Oh, it fell out. Ah, the classic super spite only doing 2 mortal wounds.
It's fine. It's 2 mortal wounds.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take 2 mortals.
2 mortals.
It feels like every time I've seen a super spite, it always is never super. It's always slightly disappointing.
With my, I use my team for my Hive Tyrant.
Zoanthrope. Oh no, you're gonna Psychic Stream?
I'm now, yeah, I'm Psychic Stream.
Alright, you get it. So it's D3 mortals. He's at 1. You cannot reroll a mortal wound damage, unfortunately.
No, I'm at 0 because I was at 4 health.
Yeah, but you took 2, and then you would have 2 left, and then he did 1 mortal.
Ah. Let's go! I'm alive! Unless he wants to charge, because he probably could.
Well, he still has his own throats to psychic you to death, too, so which is very possible.
Yeah, I'm now psychicking with the zoanthropes.
Yeah. So you just need the 6, and you kill him, basically. Okay, so you don't need to roll the other dice. It's automatically 6. So yeah, Shadows here is dead.
Now it's the charge phase. Now
Now it's the charge phase, because there is no more shooting.
No, actually now it's very important. If I fail a charge, I can just move that amount towards the unit.
Yeah, you can move towards the objective, and you would have more models as long as they live. You need them to live.
So, like, if I move here, I am capturing, right? Because it's a monster now.
No, it has to be more models, regardless. Unfortunately, monsters don't count as more models. Something they didn't change for some reason. That said, if you charge them and get in, I'd be very surprised.
My faith is my shield!
They survive.
That's fun. I'd be very surprised if enough of them survive to out-hold you.
Yeah, I need a 7 to charge the 2 One tropes charging at me, so what a wonderful see I make it.
Sorry, I can't hear you past the I. Hold on. I know the case, it's so loud. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting the channel. Yes, you need a second to get in. And that thing is so loud.
Subscribe, boys.
They got a 9. Oh, okay, Snowdrops are in. Excellent. So now he can't hold that. He can't hold that because he doesn't have Ob6, so you're automatically going to hold that over him unless they die. Now you need to get your Hive Tyrant in.
I think it's enough for me.
The charge would be -2 still, so let's see. So
No,
if you,
I can go here. I can avoid the thing.
if you go through here, I think you'd still be on an inch.
Yeah, but I'm dead point.
The charge has to make. Okay, so that's another kilty thing. So you don't get the movement if you fail the charge. So that's pretty important. I didn't realize you didn't know that.
Yeah, this thing was huge.
Yeah. You could re-roll the charge though, because you have plenty of CP.
Oh yeah, I could just reroll.
Yeah. And you should make it, because you should only need a 7. Yeah, there you go. 9. You could just walk through the terrain too, because you only need a 7 to get to there. Perfect.
I'm now attacking, dude.
Alright, so now he has the chance to interrupt, because he still has 2 CP left. So
Time.
now you really want to think about what you want to attack with
I'm at
first.
0, by the way. So,
Okay, so Hive Tyrant. I do a lot of attacks.
Okay, Hive Tyrant first. Okay, so yes, you have a lot happening.
I'm gonna do this. My Troop Master.
So you'll interrupt with the Troop Master after he fights with the Hive Tyrant? Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, you got a lot going on. This is the first time you get to be using your reroll 1s to wound. So let's see, you're hitting on 2s.
How many attacks? That's the question.
So you're gonna have, you get to reroll hit 1s or roll 1. There's a lot happening here. You can make 1 additional attack with the weapon each time it's fight. So you got 4 base plus 1 additional. So you're at 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s.
So I just auto hit.
Basically, as long as you don't re-roll a 1 into a 1. Which I've done enough.
First dice is not a 1. Second dice is a 1.
Oh, why do you re-roll? Yep. Third, and you have 2 more after that. Which you can re-roll. So, you have 3 hits so far. Nope, coming. There you go. Re-roll the 1. Good thing you have the re-roll. Good thing. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay.
I rolled so many 1s.
Your strength is something huge, if I remember correctly. Your strength is
7, I think.
It's a lot.
it's 6, but then your talons do. Oh no, your strength 6, so you're winning on 3s, but you're re-rolling 1s because of your faction trait. So you're winning on 3s, re-rolling 1s. All right, where you go? That's 5 wounds. Okay, so you have your 4 min vulns, but here's the thing: anytime you fail a wound roll, it's a dead bite because they're 3 flat damage. So, Kat, you got 5 saves to make, and you have to make at least 4 of them.
Is this a Tyranid?
Okay, well, you failed 2 already, so they're dead.
Yeah.
I still do 1 wound per model shoulder.
Alright, well, he did his job, so you're interrupting with the Troop Master, right?
So I've never. How does my Troop Master work?
So he's got.
How do I regain wounds? Because let me see something.
So you're. Yes, you do regain wounds. Actually, yeah, you're right.
I regains 1 wound. So yeah, I ate your bikes and now.
Yeah.
I'm at 1 points of.
So you regain.
Gentleman's agreement. I back the zone tropes. You charge it. We Hive Tyrant.
I'm killing the zone tropes.
He is sedentate.
I want to go out having fun, not being dead.
And then you're gonna fight in the center. Okay, we'll see how this works out, I guess. Maybe it's model. The roll gets. Yeah, you do gain a wound. You gain a wound back. You're at 10 wounds.
No, it's up to 3 wounds, so 2.
I'm not fighting the zone tropes. I will be holding off my.
Oh yeah, you do get 2. Wow, that's good.
I'm gonna hold off my interrupt, and I'm gonna fight Hive Tyrant once, because that sounds fun.
Yes.
I want to do a final 1v1.
Yes. Flee from the zone tropes. Like go 3 inches back.
Yes, but he does. You can actually. So unlike Kill Team, you can fall back your full move, and the Harlequin flip belts actually allows him to fall back and charge still. So he can still. He could. do his attacks. And the problem is if he doesn't kill a zoanthrope, and you roll well, technically those zoanthropes can kill the troop master.
I'm going out. It's a bank though.
Well, you got to do your attacks in your face because it's still your turn. So we got to do the attack with the troop master first into the zoanthropes. And then you got to attack with the zoanthrope. So the troop master has 5 attacks. You didn't charge though, so you do not get your +1 attack.
Yep. +1 d. Oh, that's the wrong color.
I know my dice are prettier, but
All right. So you hit on 2s, but you do not have reroll 1s. So you got 1. So you got 4 hits. And then you're wounding on 4s, but you get to reroll the 2 because you reroll wounds for yourself. Pretty good roll. So you got 4 wounds, and these are on the 3-up invuln, no matter how you look at it.
no, it's all this is wounds.
All those are wounds, yes.
Okay.
So you take 1 damage. 1 zone takes the damage.
I have a 5+ armor, and I do not take it.
Yeah. Remember the armor. You choose to make an armor save or an invuln save. You don't get to do both.
Okay.
And it's AP3 anyway, so you wouldn't have a save.
Yeah, 1 damage front on trope. Let's go.
Yeah. Now they get to hit your troop master, and this is where it's interesting. So you have a special relic on your troop master.
Just not hit. Is this an option?
No, you do actually have to hit. If he rolls a 1 when he attacks, then you get to roll a dice, and if you roll a 2 up, he takes a mortal wound every time he fails to hit you, basically.
Okay.
So,
We can 1, right? Or 1?
Eddie ones. Okay. So you still what hit? So he needs to roll a 2 up. So you do take a mortal wound. So what do you guys take a mortal?
Oh no! What am I going to do? Sorry for MB. I mean, it's just I'm.
So now your zoanthrope still got 2 attacks through, right? Or there's only 1 attack through?
True attacks. True.
Let
Let me try.
some reason you're ballistic skill 3 but weapon skill 4, which is very weird because you don't have guns.
I do not have a random skill.
So you hit once, so you need a wound on a 4.
Okay.
Oh no, 3 because the shadow seer's gone. So 1 wound, and you need to save it on a 4-up cat. This troop master's.
I'm imagining one of the most powerful Harlequin characters ever getting beaten up by a bunch of brain boys.
Yeah, they're just like headbutting him to death. Just slowly headbutting him. They hurt themselves with a headbutt. Cat, did you roll your save roll?
Oh, I forgot. I'm just accepting my fate.
You need a 4-up save. Oh, it's a 3-up because you have your doesn't matter. You rolled 2, but you do have a 3-up invuln for your warlord trait on the troop master. You still failed it though. It's just 1.
Darn. Oh wait, I pressed 1. Okay.
All right. Well, the good news is
He's alive.
he's alive.
I could run away, and I could just stall at this game, but I'm
Well,
angry.
You can't really run away far enough for it to matter. It's just like
Run away, and I will charge you with my Hive Tyrant 1v1.
So, yes, here's what you have: Rising Crescendo, which means you can advance charge in the same turn, as well as fall back and still shoot and charge. So you can fall back your boy, his full 8, so he could fall back here if you want to end this in a fun way, and then you could still shoot at the tyrant and charge him.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So you actually have a very good gun. That's a fusion pistol. If you read the fusion pistol real quick.
Let's see it.
Its strength, I think you're probably not going to be within 3 inches, unfortunately.
Pistol
No, you're
1.
still. It's only 1 shot, but it's strength 8, AP 4, D6 damage.
Oh. So, yikes. That's a lot.
So, there's no psychic to speak of. You didn't score anything because you had more things on the objective.
If the target is within half range of this weapon, roll.
No, he's not.
You're not in half range, unfortunately. You need a hit on a 2.
Okay.
You have 1 CP as well because of your command phase. You hit. He is toughness 7. So you're strength 8, so you only need a 3.
No!
Alright.
No!
You do have a CP if you want to spend it on this. Alright.
I have to. I have to.
Oh no!
Tyrant, when the high Tyrant just stands there, bro.
Oh no! Alright, well, you can charge him. You're not gonna kill him.
Darn.
Okay.
So I charge?
Yeah, might as well. Why not?
Otherwise, I have to sleep, so.
Just mind blast me. You deserve
it.
the
Yeah.
wins.
I have to sleep, so
But
just
let me see. I've never done my power sword, so it's 6 attacks.
Same thing as last time. You do charge, you get 6 attacks. Yep.
Yeah.
Then.
You missed 1 time.
Oh, nice.
Now you're only strength 4 and he's T7, so you do need 5s and 6s, but you're re-rolling your wounds. Good thing you're re-rolling your wounds.
Do they reroll all these?
Re-roll all of those, yeah. Alright, so there's 3 wounds there. It's AP3. I think the Hive Tyrant has an invuln, doesn't he? Oh, he may not, you know. He has a 4-up invuln.
Okay.
How many did you go through?
3 wounds. 3 wounds at AP3, so on your 4-up invuln. So 1 damage. 2 damage. How many 1s can we roll? Alright, so you take 2 damage.
Nice.
And now, unfortunately, I have a feeling the Troop Master is about to be eaten, so...
The Troop Master is just clowning around.
Okay, so I'm skipping Psychic Phase because that's...
Oh, yeah, you would fight back, because it's still... You do your fight backs in his turn, so you still get to fight back. So you got 5 attacks hitting him.
Any last words, Supermaster?
So you get 5 attacks and your hit backs.
No, actually, what last words, Supermaster?
Yeah, what are the last words of the Troop Master?
Okay.
Rerolling.
They all hit. You don't need to reroll anything.
Water.
You need 2s to wound here, so 1 more. And then you reroll 1s to wound because of your thing. Alright, well you have 5 wounds, and you do have a 3-up invuln. So technically you could live, if you make every single save. Oh, he's super dead! He is super dead!
I
Ulted. If you guys have played League, I just got Cho'Gath ultimated.
Yes.
He just went down like... "Ah."
Yeah.
Oh, good game, gentlemen. So that is 40k. That was your first game. Technically, you could play out the rest of the rounds. You're going to outscore him by the next turn anyway.
Yeah, it was very fun to play. Okay,
But-
now.
That was so much fun. I am definitely going to sign up for more stuff. Well, not this, but yeah. Thank you so much.
Of course, absolutely.
MVPs.
All right, guys. Yeah, it's probably late in Brazil, so you guys have a good night.
Thank you. I'm in Denver, so
How
Yeah.
It's not that
MVPs
way.
are formats. The thing that made me win was the Brain Boys.
It was the Brain Boys, man. The Brain Boys did work. That was some scary Brain Boys.
and I chose
Yeah.
a hard army for.
For me, if I ever get to play here again, I will bring the. I will get a list of only Brain Boys in my list.
I look forward to it. Dino did ask before the game started, before you joined, why did he choose the hardest army to play?
I didn't know about anything like difficulty-wise. It's just like, hey, I think these guys are cool.
Alright, guys.
That's the hard. I'm gonna ask. So, Grandalf, I'm gonna DM you some stuff. Like
Absolutely.
Questions about what's the easier army first off. Like
Because when you're playing
that's
golf,
kind of the
but-
edgy thing.
Right.
But
See ya, Dino. Have a good one. Yes, if you need to message me anytime, do so, bud. I am available to help out. I'm
It's very
going to try to play competitive games through the week and stream them. If you want to come and check in, see how those games go.
fun. Okay.
But yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for
No
coming
problem.
by. Thanks for your time.
See you, gamers.
See you guys. For everyone joining us in the stream today, thank you again. Please go ahead, check out 40k TTS Discord, 40k TTS Warhammer on Reddit. Please, if you like this, if you like what they're doing, go support them on their Patreon. If you want to catch me or any of the stuff I do, you can find me at twitch.tv/Grandalf_TS. I play a bunch of different stuff, Dark Souls with friends, 40k TTS. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Thank you for coming, and we really appreciate it. Have a good one. Good night, everyone.
Cool.